Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Welcome to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show for another kick in the groin Monday. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah.
We're here to talk everything Browns, everything that was yesterday. Another disappointing defeat, 31-3, I believe was the final score.
I believe.
Did anybody come close with our pre-written headlines?
Well, Bull picked the Browns to win, which clearly...
So he's out.
He's out.
I had 20-10 Chicago.
You were actually the closest. I thought it was going to be... I had an 8-point game. G had Chicago winning late, and Jason had it as a low-scoring ugly
that's
game.
right.
I think your actual spread and the point differential was closer than anyone else, but does not say a lot about us.
No, there's so much to get into. We've got Shedeur, we've got the defense, we've got Myles, Garrett, we've got special teams. Oh my God, we've got special teams. Gee, many Christmas. Somebody just fired their D coordinator. Was it the Jets?
The Jets, correct.
Guys, how is it no one's been dismissed this year in the regular season? I know that wasn't a regular topic, but it hit me on the way coming in this morning. I saw a note that DC gone in New York. Like, have there not been performances worthy of coaches being dismissed?
Doesn't it feel like if Stefanski knew he had a chance to be back, maybe some people would be let go?
Maybe. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like, if I kind of feel like he knows he's going to be gone.
I think it's a fait accompli
he's
for
like,
everybody.
He's like, well, why am I going to fire my buddies?
Yeah.
Right now.
No, you might be onto something there.
I actually think I couldn't agree more, Dustin. Like, and you know how it is in the league. It's called professional courtay. Like,
there is.
Yeah, there's professional
like
courtesy.
Unspoken.
The Jets didn't exercise that.
Well, he thinks he might be back. The head coach. If the head coach knows he's
likely
not,
will. This is his first year.
If the head coach knows, hey, look, I'm not going to be back next year. I don't want to put that scarlet letter on my guys because if you get fired during the year,
especially because they're going with you anyhow.
If they get fired during the middle of the year, that means you've done something completely so egregious where it's incompetence, and you just want to let them finish it out and give them opportunity to go somewhere else.
You don't want to get that like if Bubba Ventrone, you let him go now, then he's in the streets and he's like a scapegoat for what is happening in Cleveland, and then that guy all of a sudden has got the scarlet letter.
The benefits of it happening now is you can get a jump on getting something, even if it's in college. I saw Belichick fired Freddie Kitchens and Mike Prefer.
They were on his squad.
They were.
Yeah. Freddie was his OC, which might explain why they went 5-7.
I thought you was joking for a second,
No.
I thought because both of those guys, was
Prefer and Kitchens.
That's what's up.
And they're gone. I mean, as soon as the season was over, it was announced that they were fired. And I guess sooner the better if you're looking for another job. But to your point, G, that is sort of a scarlet letter if you wear it in the middle of the season. Just thought I'd throw that out there just because I've seen other teams have made moves this year, and I don't know that there's a team, after watching the Raiders yesterday, they're in our boat. New Orleans, I think, is better than us. New Orleans has beaten two teams with a winning record in the last 2 weeks, so it looks like their rookie quarterback is starting to figure some things out.
Yeah,
so
he looks all right.
He does. He looked okay. And with the irony of all of this is I think the Browns currently sit fourth. Behind the Giants, the Raiders, and the
Jets?
Titans. And the Titans aren't taking a quarterback, and the Giants aren't taking a quarterback.
The Giants and Raiders still play, by the way.
They do. So it's possible if the Raiders beat the Giants, the Browns could be third with the first two teams not interested in a quarterback. And so then what do? If you've got Mendoza or your pick of the litter at the top, it's a lot of decisions to be made with this team. But, Mike, where are we going to start today?
Yeah, we're going to start with the quarterback because that's where we start basically every Monday show with. Our Shedeur topic today brought to you by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets. FanDuel, the game moves fast. And so can you. Dustin, what'd you think of Shedeur Sanders' performance against the Chicago Bears? The offense did not look good. This is coming on the heels of his best start yet of his young career against Tennessee, but he appeared to take a step back this week. What say you about Shedeur?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was pretty apparent that he took a step back. I expected it to happen. I didn't know that it would quite be this bad. Not all his fault. Obviously, I mean, he's being put into a situation against a really talented team on the road. Didn't get a lot of help, throughout the day by his offensive line, by the receivers. And again, I mean, he holds the ball way too long. He made some errors in this game. Looked a little overmatched at times. Just he looked like a rookie the entire day, and that's to be expected. I think it wasn't me. I didn't get my hopes up that he was going to play like he did against Tennessee against the Bears. I thought he'd play better than he did against the Bears, though. I thought he would play a little bit better. Do you think, guys? I mean,
I did too.
It was a pretty. We were excited after the Titans game for what he showed, and in this performance, I think we're left feeling completely the opposite of how we felt against Tennessee. And we're like, oh my God, this is going to be so much fun. This guy looks like he could be the future. And now if you're sitting here today, and if that was your only, if you didn't have the Titans game in the back of your memory bank, you'd be like, man, this guy can't play.
Well, thankfully for him, we do.
Yeah, we do.
And he's still going to get the rest of the season. He's going to get 3 starts. I know we're going to talk about this later as we parse out blame. I have been saying really from the beginning of the season, how are we going to evaluate these quarterbacks? How does that work when you've got the worst offensive line in the game and the worst wide receiving core in the game? It's not fair. It wasn't fair to Dylan Gabriel. It's definitely not fair to Shedeur Sanders. But I'll say this. If you watch the whole game and you take the emotion out of it, and that's really hard for me to do, I get my mood swings during these games are unhealthy. Watching Cleveland Browns football for me is an unhealthy activity. I'm 60, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I bet a doctor would tell me you'd be better off to shovel your entire driveway and all your sidewalks before you should sit down and watch the Cleveland Browns play.
The leading cause of death on this planet is stress.
Stress. And the only stress I have in my life, is related to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, dude, let them go.
And
man.
I know it's pathetic.
Let them go. Or try to care a little bit less.
I'm 60. I wanted to win. I wanted to see the Browns win a championship in the worst way. I really did. But this organization is so dysfunctional, has such a culture of losing, that we can't even accurately judge what we have at the most important position in the sport because the surrounding cast is garbage, and there's no other way to say it. I saw some things from Shedeur Sanders yesterday that really get me excited. His deep ball, his touch on the deep ball. There are veteran quarterbacks in this league that don't have that kind of accuracy and touch on the deep ball. Now, I know he missed some. It was windy, but I brought Jeff George up on this show a couple of weeks, maybe last week. I'm probably the only one that really remembers watching him play. You remember Jeff George?
I remember him with the Colts.
I remember him with the Falcons.
Falcons, too.
Jeff George had an intoxicating quality. And that intoxicating quality was he had a $10 million arm. For my money, it's the strongest, purest arm I've ever seen in the NFL. And that's saying something because Randall Cunningham could sling it. But this dude could stand flat-footed and throw it 75 yards without breaking a sweat. He just had a great arm. It was all the other stuff that goes into playing quarterback that Jeff didn't have. And I would love to know if Shedeur has some of that. I give him passing grades on the way he has maneuvered through the pocket since his week 1 start was atrocious. He was running south. Now he's trying to escape the pocket, and sometimes with great success. It doesn't always work, but I've seen improvement there. I'd like to see improvement in other areas, but I counted 2 dropbacks yesterday where he had all kinds of time, plenty of time. Everything else, he's got someone in his face as soon as he gets to his spot. So we can't evaluate what we have at the most important position in the sport. And because of that, it feels like we're just spinning our wheels. Did he take a step back? Yeah, if you look at the numbers and you watch the play, that wasn't close to the guy that we saw against Tennessee. I said all week, don't expect that. He's going up against a much better defense. Somewhere between Tennessee and Chicago is where Shedeur Sanders lives. Somewhere between those 2 performances. It's up to this organization to put enough winning parts around him so we can really see what we have. Because right now, I'm no closer to knowing the answer to that than I was on August 1st. I don't know.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you probably won't know after the next 3 weeks.
No, what are they going to do? Rebuild the offensive line?
Yeah,
grab some good wide receivers?
It's not going to get any easier, and I think we saw a little bit on Sunday was some guys that, guys start to check out a little bit, on the season.
I like Isaiah Bond a lot.
It was the first time, Dustin, I got that hit me where it was the first time with Kevin where I thought guys was calling their girls up like, hey, is it Cancun, Tahiti, Bahamas?
Where are we going?
Like, here's the thing. You and I joke about this, and the 1, 2, 3 Cancun thing's really funny. But, I mean, there were times in games as a player, you're on a team, when you're thinking about where you're going to go to eat after the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're thinking about, like, okay, mom's here.
Yeah, okay.
The old lady's here. We got, grandma's going to, okay, so we got to make a reservation for
Yeah, my aunt.
You're thinking about this during the game.
Ruby Tuesday sounds good. I got the salad bar. I like that. Man, you know what? I'm going to see what I'm going to work on the offseason. I'm going to think of doing a little more speed training.
And these are the thoughts that are going through your head on the field.
And when I saw the game, it was crazy because when I seen the forecast, I knew what type of time we was because me, you, and Tyvus was laughing. I said, man, you start going out there and you got to tackle somebody and it's -5, -10. It automatically eliminates half your roster. It's hard to go out there and play well when you got something to play for. Given the fact that they was 9-4, they lost last week, they're at home, I said, oh, this is about to be a nightmare. And then you start seeing them run the football and you start to see guys are getting 5 a pop, 6 a pop. Now all of a sudden, you got safeties. Guys are getting to the safeties levels, and it's like, oh, if the safeties is getting blocked, if their linemen are there, guys that have made their business decision. But in terms of, we'll get to this thing. I don't think when I look at Shedeur Sanders, I don't think he played a good game. I don't think he played a good game. I'll break it down football wise. I thought 2 throws, the 2 interceptions. One of the interceptions, they were running play action. He kind of stared down Harold Fannin. And the linebacker did a really good job of just being like, oh, yeah.
He disguised himself well.
He was like, yeah, I'm biting on the run. Psych, I'm dropping right back into this hook zone. And usually what that happens when you're running play action, you're selling a hard run action, and you're hoping that guys bite. But when you're running for 20-some yards, I mean, the run game is non-existent. They're not biting on that. They'll rally to that and make the tackle. So I thought that he got fooled on that play. And they did a good job of disguising that. The second one, later in the game, I thought that he threw a pass. It was a corner route to Harold Fannin Jr. And I believe they were in cover 2. And I think the corner did a really good job of carrying that. And he kind of baited him because he carried it late. And I think he threw the ball. If he would have threw it a half second earlier, it would have hit him and he would have been cool. I thought he also put a little too much air in it and floated in the wind. And it got intercepted. So that was two bad interceptions. I think that was on him. The third interception to Jerry Jeudy, I thought that was one of the best balls he's thrown since he's been playing.
Best in the NFL. Best since he's been in the NFL.
That was a 50-50 ball to a receiver, giving him an opportunity. He couldn't have took the ball and handed it to him better. Hit him in the chest, and Jerry Jeudy let the Big Mac sauce slide all down his face into the on-gummy hams of the Big Mac sauce. And I was so excited. I'm like, yo, that's a throw. And I'm like, what?
When they said interception, I'm like, what are they looking at? That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. And then Jerry Jeudy got up without the football, and I said, oh, this is wild work. I think that I will point to one thing I do say with you, Jay, is when I'm looking at it, it's very difficult to evaluate a quarterback when you have an offensive line, and we'll talk about the fact that he's been a leading rusher the last 2 weeks against the Titans. If your quarterback is the leading rusher, and those weren't design runs, those were scrambles. If you're doing that, you're not winning a football game. I don't care who you got at quarterback. But there are three things that I saw.
Well, Josh Kelly can do that for his team.
Yeah,
but they've got Cook, who typically is up near 100 yards anyhow.
Yeah. Josh Allen, Josh Allen can get that off.
Jim Kelly?
Merge the two.
That'd be great. Josh Kelly is
Ernest
elite.
Mack.
That boy did that. Ross Tucker did that a couple weeks ago.
What I'm looking for in a quarterback, and it's difficult when your surrounding cast and receivers ain't there. What I'm trying to find is this. I need to see plays that I can extrapolate and say, if I put this kid and bolster the offense, bolster the pieces around him, do I have something there? And I think there's 2 or 3 times a game where he does things where you're like, wow. Isaiah Bond, the fact that he's catching deep balls. I mean, the one deep ball he threw, it was beautiful. It had touch on it. He got hit in the pocket.
I thought both deep balls were.
Both of them were.
He did miss one on a deep ball where Bond was actually open, but he was going into the wind.
Yeah, it's like he kind of lost it, or the wind caught it. But
not every quarterback has that gift.
He threw those two. I said, wow, that was the Jared Judy throw I thought was great. But so for us, the evaluation is going to be, does he have enough? Does he have the raw material that we can shape and mold and figure out if we build our infrastructure, can he be somebody? And that's the goal of these exercises in these games. Like you said, he's not going to throw for 300 every yard. Up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what rookies do, especially in their fourth start. But, I just come out and say it. Shedeur Sanders would say he didn't play well last game. And so that's okay. You're a rookie. You're not going to play well every game. But what you want to see is improvement in the areas that you are weak at, or the improvement in the areas that you're struggling with. And that's what the next 3 weeks is for.
Dustin, I wanted to ask you, Jay mentioned he thought it was impossible to evaluate Shedeur and some of the other guys because the offensive line was so bad. How much of Shedeur's struggles do you put on the fact that the offensive line was starting 4 backups yesterday? Or do you think that group actually held up enough to give him some opportunities? How do you kind of parse that out?
No, it's probably impossible to say how fair it is to assess him based on who's playing up there on the offensive line. It's not helping him, put it that way. I think the hardest part about assessing him is, the fact that he's going to be running this offense, this lame duck offense for the next 3 weeks, when we don't know what he's going to be running next year.
Right.
It's going to be a completely different roster. I'm assuming that they're going to wipe out the coaching staff. I don't know how they survive this. Jimmy Haslam said before the season began, the 3 wins is not good enough. It's not acceptable. So they'll probably have a new staff, and Shedeur's going to have to learn a new offense. So for me, I just want to see him like the fundamentals. I'm looking at footwork. I'm looking at him trying to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. Trying to get through his progressions, like those things. Take care of the ball, like not forcing throws. Those are the areas where I just want to see him improve the final 3 games. He's going to face pretty good competition.
Well, the first 2 are it's playoffs for
them,
for the Bills and the Steelers.
Yeah.
Might as well be playoffs.
Yep, absolutely. And you have a chance to play spoiler against those teams.
Yeah.
Against two talented teams in Pittsburgh and Buffalo. So
I thought, and I know the defense was back on their heels, but. And he did it in the fourth quarter against Tennessee as well. So it's hard to say if he can run that successfully and make it work. But in the fourth quarter of the last 2 games, he's had, I know they didn't score a touchdown, but it was a touchdown-worthy drive. And everything on those drives was short underneath, quick, short, 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 short. I know we got sick of that with Dylan Gabriel, but guys, when you look at how we're built, like we're not built to give our quarterback 4 and 5 seconds to throw the deep ball. And I know it's not exciting, but maybe for the next 3 weeks with nothing on the line, what are we playing for? Absolutely nothing. Wins actually are detrimental to this team. With nothing to play for, let's give him the offense that he ran for the 3 touchdown drives. I know he only scored on 2 of them, but the drives that were length of the field drives, 2 at the end of the game at Tennessee and the one yesterday late in the game. he moved the ball. He looked confident in rhythm. I like seeing him in rhythm, quick, and I know if you take the deep game away, you help the defense because it's not going to be long before they realize, they're not going to take any deep shots. But I'd like to see if he can manage that offense efficiently in the first, second, and third quarters when defenses aren't way back. You know what I mean?
I just want it
I do.
This is a problem with the Browns offense. When you watch it on film, it seems disjointed because they routinely have a lot of guys in the same area. There's no spacing. And then there's times where there's not an available answer to the quarterback. So, I want to answer on a deep route. I want something intermediate. I want something short, and then I want something that's called, if all hell breaks loose, this is what you need to do. Maybe that's a quick swing to the back. There's times where it's like there's these 1 or 2 route answers that we have, and then one of them is a deep post, and another one is a 15-yard dig, and we're like, hey guys, it's winter. It's winter, and it's the first quarter. Why are we running a 20-yard post and a 15-yard dig, and there's no other answers if you get pressure quickly? So then you hold the ball and trying to find something and it's disjointed. To your point, Jay, somebody texted me. I was doing a watch party. Somebody chatted. They said, "Do we have any slant routes?" And I said, "I haven't seen a slant route in 4 or 5 weeks. I haven't seen it's like when you watch the other teams and you go and watch other teams, and when they get back to their third step, like the Bears, you just go to their sideline. They ran a master class. Ben Johnson ran a master class in play action here. Look at the target distribution. I got Komet over here. I got Loveland throwing the ball to him. Burton's going to catch it on the outside. Moore is going to do his thing. We got 2 running. Everything was something that was layered on top of everything.
Hey, man, they got playmakers all
everywhere.
And they're missing a big wide receiver yesterday.
And Roman Dunze wasn't playing.
Right.
I said,
they got Monungai and Swift.
And Swift. And I'm like, guys, it just dawned on me. It hurt my heart because I was like, we don't have any of that. That was easy for them. Those guys were just picking to see which guys were going to carve us up. And we got Harold Fannin. I love Harold Fannin to death. But you can't have your tight end with 14 targets.
Yeah.
And the rest of your receivers are.
Well, it's clear that he feels really comfortable with Fannin as a relief valve. And he's a good guy to feel comfortable with, but he's a tight end. And
he had 14 targets last year.
He shouldn't have 14 targets ever.
Bowling Green targeted 14 times.
20
And they
times.
should have.
Because he's all that they had in Bowling Green.
He was kind of like TE/WR there.
Yes.
Which is why he shouldn't be targeted 14 times as a rookie in the NFL.
No, that should never happen. And I wonder, I don't know what the answer to this is. To be honest with you, I haven't noticed that they've taken the slant out of the playbook. Is that, you think, a product of they don't feel comfortable with Shedeur throwing that over the middle slant yet?
I don't know.
Because 4 or 5 weeks is how long he's been in there.
I don't know.
And if you haven't seen one in that time, that's kind of telling.
I don't know. And here's another thing that hits me. I watched it, and this hit me like a year and a half ago. I was looking around and said, why can't the Browns run the ball? And so I was watching the film and breaking it down, and I'm like, it got to a point where I kept saying that every single time that they would block and try to get to the next level, there would be always somebody coming free. And I said, man, guys are getting hit in the backfield. This year is accelerated. Every single time Quinshawn touches the ball, he is hit behind the line of scrimmage because they don't know on an assignment who to block. They seriously don't. The foundation of offensive line play, and this is tough because offensive line play, we don't watch it. But every single...
Unless it's bad, you notice it.
Yes, you notice it. Every single play as an offensive lineman, your assignment changes based upon where the defensive line and linebackers move. So, yes, if that guy is sitting right here, you block him. But if he moves and he goes A-gap or B-gap, your assignment changes.
Yeah.
And then the next guy has to know whether or not he's going to take that guy. And so your assignment, those guys have to be... Offensive linemen are pretty much the smartest people on your team. A lot of people don't know that. They change their assignments of who they get and who they need to block every single play based on what the defense gives them. And the problem with the Browns is up front, they either have guys that are not athletic enough or strong enough to complete their assignment, which is to block the guy or cut him off, or they have guys that don't know who to block. And when you lead, that leads to the 24-yard stuff.
How many new guys do we have in there?
Five
Five guys?
Four new starters.
And you got to your point, and you played offensive line, so you know better than anybody. When you're trying to make those adjustments up front, and you're literally every play, you're identifying, the mic back or here, and you know where maybe pressure's coming from, and you may be talking to your teammates up front or on the line, try to communicate them things. Well, guess what? It's easy when it's been Posick and Batonio.
Yeah, right.
Hey, all year.
It's an orchestra.
But you're right.
And you take one piece out, and that orchestra changes. Now take 4 pieces out.
100%. So there's no longer a string there that they're playing on, and there's no trust.
Yeah, right.
And there's really not a lot of compatibility.
I remember when Bill Callahan left before the next season, I had said my biggest concern is how do we replace Bill Callahan? Our offensive line, guys, hasn't looked the same since he's left. And there's a reason why he was widely regarded as the best offensive line coach in the NFL. He went to coach with his son in Tennessee. His son gets fired. He gets fired. He's on the street. I think the first call I'd make this offseason is to Bill Callahan.
I got to tell you, man, offensive line coaches, they do the dirty work for teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're grimy. They're usually like old dudes who've been around the block, and they're not the best like head coaches. They're not good play callers typically. But you know what they can do? They can get these suckers lined up, and they can get the most out of them.
Yeah.
And
he could do that.
It's one of those. Yeah, they remind me of like on you know what I'm saying, like you go back and my grandfather used to work in a factory, and some of these machines is pre-World War I, World War II machines, right? And the guys who made the machine are long gone. The company that made the machine,
there ain't
no more parts. So you got
more warranties.
No more warranties. So you got an old dude named Carl, and Carl been here for 45 years. Carl, they tell you, don't touch the machine. If the machine go down, you call Carl. He on call, and he come in there, and he come in half asleep. He might be half drunk, smoking a cigarette. You know you ain't allowed smoking no cigarettes in the facility. Carl come in there drunk, and he say, yeah, what we need, give me 3 shovels, some Band-Aids, and give me some roller bearings over there, and hurry up. You guys are taking too long. We got to get this machine back up. And Carl comes in 15, 20 minutes, puts it together, and here you go. He don't tell you what happened. He don't tell you how he did it. Carl just get up, go back home, and then come back for this next shift in the morning.
And he's got great job security.
And he's
the only one that knows.
They tell, hey, HR, hey, listen, leave Carl alone. The HR, he says, and he cuss like a sailor.
Carl's allowed to smoke.
Carl's allowed to smoke. He allowed to do whatever. But those are the offensive line coaches. Remember, what's the guy that was the offensive line coach for the Patriots for like 100 years?
Skarnecki.
He quit. He was done. They was running the ball bad for about a half year. They called him up and said, come on back. He came back and got his job. It's the same. It's the same with the Bill Callahans. Offensive line coaches is them type players and them type coaches, and it's a lost art. It's a lost art.
You typically you don't notice them, but you see the bad ones, and you appreciate the good ones.
You be like, man, if we just had Bill back. Bill! Hey, listen, forget if they call you. I'm going to call you Bill. Listen, we need the Browns to be good. Jay is threatening to retire tomorrow.
I'm on the edge, bro.
He's on the edge. Come on back and give us a solid running game. We don't need 220 a game. Give us 115. You give us 115.
Wouldn't that look good right now?
Oh, 115? We take it. That's all we want.
You know what kills my heart, too? Like early in the year, Travion Henderson I wasn't relishing in the fact that he wasn't doing well. But I wanted to draft Henderson.
I am now.
And I remember Jason said, nope, Judkins is going to be the better back. And then early on, I'm like, man, I was wrong on that, Jay. You were right, Judkins. But now, Henderson, who busted another one yesterday, Henderson has passed him in yardage for the season, and he was benched for a while.
Yeah, about that.
He was on the doghouse.
And it's just like, you want to see this. I think there's something to Judkins. I do. I don't think this is the kind of back he is. But when you're running and your first contact is behind the line of scrimmage,
it's hard.
What are you going to do?
It's hard. It's frustrating.
You're not going to do.
I'm waiting for the numbers to come out on it. They usually come out around 2 o'clock today. My eye test told me on his 12 carries, he was hit behind the line of scrimmage on 7 of the 12.
I bet he was.
More than 50% of the time he was hit behind the line of scrimmage.
What do you have, 20 yards?
21 yards on 12 carries.
Oh, my
Just not
God.
good enough for a back who we've seen be able to turn nothing into something at times.
Yeah.
Other times, when the offensive line is playing as poorly as it did yesterday, particularly in the run blocking regard, ugly. ugly results. All right, guys, let's get to our next topic. You mentioned it earlier. We're going to get back to it now. It's brought to you by Aura Frames. The holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every single time. It's not just something you wrap. It's a way to share memories, because Aura isn't just your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it. So when they plug it in, the memories are already there. No apps to figure it out. No setup headaches. Just instant smiles. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura Frames' best-selling Carver mat frame, named the #1 frame in the world by wire cutting. And if you use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout, you get that $35 off. That's Aura Frames, AURA frames.com, promo code LOCKEDON. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays and show your support for the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Mike, can I say something about that? I didn't know that they were one of our clients. I want to say something quickly about Aura. A couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I was looking for a gift for my mom for Christmas, and it's hard to get a gift for my mom. She's pretty frugal. She has everything she needs, and I saw this Aura. And what it is it looks just like a picture frame. They come in various sizes. You can hang them on the wall. You can put them. She puts hers on her like TV stand sort of. And what you do is you get a code, and then you can email it to all your relatives. So I sent it to all of my siblings, and I said, hey guys, once a week, once a month, drop some pictures on this for mom. And so my daughter sends pictures of her kids, which are my mom's great grandchildren, and my mom has like 20 great grandchildren. And when I go over to my mom's house to visit, there's that frame sitting on the credenza there. And it rotates through the pictures 24/7.
That's sweet.
And my mom I cannot tell you how many times my mom has said, it's one of the best gifts I've ever received.
I'm about to buy one right now.
Hey, listen, hold on.
Sold me on
Hey,
one.
listen, hold on. I was sitting there. Shut up, Dustin. I was over here sitting there like, ooh.
So-
hey, Rose. Yeah,
Order one
put
up for
that
mom.
order. I get that one together.
Well, I bring it up
That
because
wasn't even
it's
a paid
Christmas time.
partnership, man.
Yeah.
That's
But
good.
what's so cool about it is, sometimes elderly people like to have pictures. Well, you can't have pictures of 20 grandchildren.
Right.
But if you have one frame, they cycle through, and it's so easy to do.
It's color?
It's color pictures.
How big's the frame?
Hers is about maybe 10 by 8, maybe, I'd say. But they come bigger. You can hang them on the wall, too. And it's Wi-Fi. So
Yeah.
there's there's nothing that you have to worry about that. But you just email the pictures, and they rotate through, and they're perfect gifts for particularly parents who live away from large parts of their family.
Right. That's
So-
great. Yeah.
This is
Aura.
crazy. I can even
Check it out.
I can even prank my mom. So what I could do is
You can send pictures.
I can send pictures of myself, and I just sit there and have my shirtless picture. Yeah, this is your favorite son, G. Bush. And that's spooky.
Send a picture of Carl fixing the machines.
And she like, listen, take this picture frame down. You
No,
do too much.
they're a great gift.
I gotta get this.
And considering the enjoyment you get and how long they last, it's very, very cost effective. They're not expensive
I like
at all,
that.
and they last forever. My mom's had hers for probably 10 years.
Going to Aura.com.
Yeah, we'll get to this.
Aura.com.
Check it out.
Or,
yeah.
and
use us
code locked on. You get a
locked
discount.
on. Mention UCSS at checkout. Speaking of checking out, the Browns have completely checked out.
Yeah.
And you guys mentioned this earlier. G, I'll start with you on this one because I know you brought it up, and we talked about it on the postgame show a bit. Is this the first time you truly felt like the Browns had checked out, even maybe if you want to go as far as to say quit on Kevin Stefanski?
Yeah, just so the reason I say it's the first time is because just from my experience, stopping a run is an attitude. Like defense is attitude and effort. And when I saw that the way they were running the ball, I said, "Oh, this isn't the same defense. It's not. It don't look the same." And then I was befuddled. The first play of the game, or first series of the game, I think the Browns. No, this one happened to be maybe it's the third one. Browns were down 7-0. Then wristband gate or helmet gate or whatever gate happened where he didn't know either he didn't have a wristband or wrong wristband.
I got some information on that, G.
Okay.
So Jason texted me this morning. He's not in the show. He said he did some digging around, and Shedeur's answer when he said it just wasn't in there
Said it
turned
had
out
fallen
to
out.
it had fallen out.
Yeah.
That is now confirmed. It wasn't. He had the wrong wristband.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
play sheet for the second drive
Yeah.
somehow fell out of the wristband. It wasn't a coaching thing. It wasn't a Shedeur mistake.
It just fell out.
It just
It fell out, which is the most Brownsy Browns thing in the
Sure.
history of humanity.
So your wristband card is gone, and he goes to the sideline. He's telling Kevin, like, yeah, like, so I guess he had to verbally tell him this is what the play was.
Yes.
He's going back into the game, and I'm on the live stream, and I'm counting 13, 12, 11, 10,
Play clock.
9, and then he gets in the huddle, they break it. By the time if you break the huddle, every football player knows this. You break a huddle in today's football, and it's under
5.
10 seconds,
Yeah,
you
well-
in trouble because you got to make the line calls. You got to make any sort of protection schemes. If you're in the wrong thing, you need to change the play. Anything under 10 seconds, you break the huddle, you in trouble. I'm looking at Kevin like, go ahead, call timeout. You're down 7-0.
Right.
You know your offense is limited. You can't do 1st and 15. That's not. And what you want to do at that point is just sustain some drives, get a few first downs if you got a punt. And they take the false start, or not the false start, they take the delay of game. And I said, guys, Kevin, what are you doing?
By the way, they ended the half with timeouts in their pocket.
Right. Like, you don't get, why are you saving these? Call timeout, get them in the right play, or have somebody find the card on the ground and figure it out so that you can put your team in the best position. And when they took the 1st and 15, I said, oh, they ain't dialed in.
How many
They
times
ain't dialed in.
yesterday, look at when they got I think their first possession, wasn't it at the 1 yard line?
Yeah.
They took like 2 or 3 penalties in the first couple plays. And you're like, well, what's half the distance? Well, that's going to kill us.
was like-
They'll never pick this up.
I mean,
I'm like, what are you doing? We can't even get lined up right, G.
we can't get lined. The screen, we're trying to throw screen passes, and you got guys downfield on screen passes. I never understood that, lineman. Lineman, you understand.
Can't release until the ball's thrown.
You know it's a screen, Dustin. Why are you gotta be careful with those things. And for me, that's the thing that gets me the most, is when you start to see people do that, and then the special teams, just the jump. Like, you kick the ball off, and then get the ball at the 40.
That right there was the game.
That's it.
That was like when y'all beat us and Doss returned the opening kick.
Yeah.
We thought we had a chance
And then,
until the ball was kicked off.
And then
the
was-
same thing for this game yesterday.
it was done.
Doss returned the opening kick.
Well,
for
the
a
opening kick
touchdown,
yesterday
yeah.
went for what, 50
Basically,
yards?
it might as well have been a touchdown.
And it's so
Now
defeating.
we somehow stopped them on that drive.
I know we did.
which is a miracle. But
then
not
we got
for
the
long.
ball on the inch
Yeah.
line, and then they got the ball back around the 50, and then they scored.
It flipped the field.
yeah,
flipped the field.
And so it was, and then it was just like I just saw the way that their offense was operating, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a long one, because they started running the ball. Then they was turning people loose. They was running boot action away from it. They had screens that was layered up in it. I said, oh, you guys are in trouble today. And I thought after they went down 14-0, I'll give them the defense a little credit, because it could have got nasty. 14-0 in that weather, people gonna make some business decisions.
Again, in the second half, it felt like a game.
He did.
It felt like a game. And I do credit the defense, because there's been how many games this year that they ended up getting blown out? Yesterday was one of them, where midway through the third quarter, you're like, okay, if we finish this drive off, it's a 1-score game. And then, I think I've said it's basically like tug of war. You dig in and you hold on to that rope, and even sometimes you feel the rope burns, and you look, it might be a little drops of blood, but then all of a sudden you start losing ground, and then what happened? You let go of the rope. And I feel like our defense has let go of the rope in 10 games this year, because they finally realized offense isn't going to pull on the rope. We can't win it by ourselves. And they just finally say, okay, you guys win, you can have it. And it's really frustrating, because we're going to talk about this later, but we're looking at an all-time individual great defensive performance right now on this football team. And we can't even really get excited about it. Okay, we're going to be 3-14 again. So what? When you put that record, could you put the stats up again about the offensive ranks?
Offensive rankings, yeah.
I think the Browns' mistake when they hired Kevin Stefanski was that they didn't hire him to be the offensive coordinator. He's not calling the plays anymore. Offense doesn't look any different. We've cycled through a lot of offensive coordinators. The one that was the best, he was forced to fire. And we have not found his replacement since. I think, and I made this prediction last week on the show, I'm going to stand by it. I think what happens is he gets fired here and he ends up in Philly as the OC. Because their OC is not on solid ground at all. Very shaky. And they're probably going to come to Sirianni and say
they want to get him out of there.
He's gone. Unless they somehow. Now, yesterday they pulled it together and they beat a terrible Raiders team. If this Eagles team wins the Super Bowl, you're not firing the OC. You're probably
there's some people that want Sirianni out.
There are some people that want Sirianni, and a large part of the fan base that wants Sirianni out is the part of this fan base that thinks that the OC is happening because of Sirianni.
Yeah, like they're tied.
You're letting that happen.
I've never seen. I mean, how many Super Bowls they've been to?
4 maybe.
They've won. I mean,
they've won 2.
And Sirianni just won when?
Last year.
Last year. Like
yeah.
Jalen Hurts just won.
But remember, the year before they started off house afire.
Yeah.
And nosedove, and everybody was like, "What's going on?" This team, I think they were like 8-0 to start or 9-0 something, and then they couldn't win a game at the end of the season. And I felt at that point that Sirianni could be in trouble because the fan base there has never really thrown their arms around him. Then last year they come out and win the Super Bowl, and everybody's like, "Okay, now he's got a couple of years at least."
Man.
But this year, the offense at times has just looked inexplicably bad for a team that has 2 wide receiver ones, one of the best running backs in the game, and a quarterback that is still, we're not sure.
I think the problem that hits the Browns is, and look, I love Andrew Berry's drafts, but McNuggets did a draft.
Yeah.
We'll say that draft. He did an exercise, and we were on a post-game show, and he went through. He said, "I get it. Last year's draft was crazy. It was A+. We give it thumbs up, especially if the quarterback is good."
Yeah.
He said, "But go back and check 24.
Oh, I know.
Check 23. Check 22.
They've been disasters, G.
The Cleveland Browns are stuck in a position where I don't think they understand the times have changed. Before, we're still stuck here where we think we can have a pretty solid number 1 receiver that's solid, and we'll maximize that and do some things around it. Listen, man, you got to have about 3 of them dudes, because you got to factor in injury. You got to factor in that, some teams can defensively take one guy out of your game plan. The Browns have never embraced the fact that you need multiple dudes, and I mean explosive game changers at multiple positions, not just
look at Stafford and the Rams and the guys he has to throw to.
They got multiple, and they didn't
all kinds of Adams. If he's not open, Puka's always open.
Adams
is hurt now, though.
I know.
And they don't do. They had the other. What's the kid?
Their tight end yesterday jumped off.
They got a couple of elite, exciting whites.
Their tight end Parkinson had a huge game yesterday.
And then they just got Lad McConkey. They just be like I don't understand.
He's exciting.
I don't understand. You see how they layer them up? They got rid of Cooper Kupp. It's like no. We need another one. We gonna get 3 to 4 of these dudes. They keep them. And for the Browns, Jerry Jeudy should be probably, if you was a Super Bowl caliber team, Jerry Jeudy should be at number 3. He should be a number 2 to 3, where he can work and move, maneuver,
Super Bowl team if he's
catch some of their third corners on him. Yeah. And then now it's a little bit of a mismatch. But if you see it, they split out Harold Fannin Jr. against a cornerback. Now, Dustin, I said, who does that? A cornerback versus a tight end split out wide is not a mismatch for the offense. The corner, you're thinking as a corner, oh, this is easy money. You looking at him like, oh, you going to inside release on me? I deal with release packages from the elite guys. That little slant route you just ran, that's slow. That outside release is slow. You sitting on stuff. I'm like, the Browns only have enough playmakers. They got to put the tight end out there. Some of these other teams.
The only time a tight end flexed out worries me as a corner is in the red zone when I'm matched up 1-on-1. They're going to throw this guy like Gronk.
Yes,
fade stop.
And other than that,
because it's just basketball at that point.
Other than that, you're
not worried about getting beat on a slant or a go.
Nothing deep. You're not like you're really not. Like, you're not even going to be physical and jam them at the line of scrimmage. You're just going to play off coverage and wait till you make his break, and you're going to break on it. You're a corner. You're an athlete. That's disrespectful. But that's what the Browns are dealing with at this point. And when you watch some of these other teams, I always told her it's the 4 o'clock. It's the 4 o'clock shadow. Browns play at 1 o'clock. It's a dark pit. It's zero. It's a pit. It's a hole. And you're like, oh my gosh, we don't see no hope. And then you turn on at 4 o'clock, and guys is running,
they're playing a different sport.
Walking around wide open.
Different sport.
CeeDee Lamb for 25 yards. You're like, where was the cornerback? This tight end's rumbling down the seam. You're like, where are these plays coming from? Where are they at? I don't see them. Like,
You know what's funny, G? You and I used to say that about Kansas City. Remember, we'd say, Andy Reid's got 5 guys open on every play.
6.
And now, when I watch the Chiefs, this is going to be the biggest insult that you can give the Chiefs. They look like the Browns to me.
they're getting locked up.
They do, yeah.
They can't get anybody open.
Locked.
They've got nobody. And if you look at their wide receivers, it's not a bunch of household names. Kelsey is old, and they can't get it done now.
Man, you got to have. It's one of them things where I think the product of the Chiefs is people done seen them for so long. The Chiefs have been so good for so long. They playing 5-6 more games than everybody in the playoffs. People then they staff together and say, listen, I need you to break. Because the reality is, if you wanted to go to the Super Bowl, I think this is what it is with the Chiefs. If you wanted to go to the Super Bowl, you know what you got to do? You got to go through Kansas City.
Used to be.
And so if you good, it's like Ohio State, Michigan. If you good, I'm going to see you at the end of the season. Am I really game planning for Indiana? Not now, Indiana. I'm sorry, no disrespect. Am I really game planning for Minnesota and Purdue and Illinois? Nah, we working overtime. We got a period just for Ohio State or Michigan.
Yep.
If you're a team like the Bills or the Bengals or the Ravens and you want to get to where you want to go, you got to go through Mahomes.
And, you even have to draft.
Yes.
You have to look at the draft and say, okay, Baltimore has Lamar Jackson. We're going to need some quick linebackers that can chase him down. And it does. It starts impacting the way you look at everything. I was going through the Browns drafts last night, looking at just how bad they've been. The one thing that stood out to me was the fact that obviously we're deficient at offensive line and wide receiver. We've had a blind spot at wide receiver. It hasn't been for lack of drafting.
Yeah.
We've just drafted a bunch of pigs at wide receiver. But when you look at the offensive line, we've almost ignored it. And the guys we've taken have tanked. Colossal tanks. We haven't had a hit on the line or at wide receiver in the draft since Andrew Berry's been here.
If you go back and you watch the run blocking grades, and I talked about this last week or yesterday too, like go back and watch the Titans. This is against the Titans. The highest run block grade you had was a 62%.
Which is an F.
Like the lowest was Ethan Pochich at a 39. Like think about it, your kid came home and said, I got an F. You like, that's unacceptable. But at least if he would have had a high F,
62.
if he'd had a high F, we could have, the A you got may not look that bad. You might pass, son, but you can't have a 39. A 39 means, I did this in accounting. I got a whole 47%. The next test I came in, I wrote on a piece of paper. He says, Mr. Bush, what are you doing? 5 minutes into the test, I turned it in and wrote another. I said, I'll see you next semester.
You gave up.
All right, bye. I'll check you next semester.
Yeah, because if you get a 39 and you get 100 on the next one, you still are below 70% average.
You still got a
you still got an F average.
Right, so you're done. So that's how bad the Browns' offensive line is. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, all right, well, we could draft a few. But even if you draft a few of them, you don't have anybody under contract. So you need 6 and backups. So you need 5 starters and about 3 backups. So
next November, you know what we'll be talking about? I don't know if Shedeur's the man. I mean, he can't get time to throw the football. Is Judkins the guy? I don't know. And if he can't get the ball without getting smacked right behind the line of scrimmage.
And if they want to draft a quarterback, all right, well, that means one of your high picks that you was going to use for protection is off the table.
I don't think this was a topic for today. I'm sure it will be at some point this week about drafting a quarterback. At this point, I'm not drafting a quarterback. Period, full stop. Here's why. You draft a quarterback if you think your quarterback away.
Right.
And I know that everybody tends to think that, hey, if you put Josh Allen on this team, we're an 11-win team. No, we're not. No, we are not. So you would waste a pick on a quarterback. If you brought Fernando Mendoza in here, he's going to look very similar to Gabriel and Sanders. Why? Because they're not going to block any better for him. I'm using my draft picks on offensive linemen and wide receivers. And I'm telling my general manager before the draft, I want to load up on offensive linemen and wide receivers, and if you miss, bye, you're gone. So you better go start evaluating the linemen and the wide receivers, and you better get me 7 that can come in here next year and
crazy,
contribute like we got the 7 to contribute this year.
The fact that you need 7 is crazy work.
Have you ever seen more than 7?
Have you ever heard somebody say, "Hey, Dustin, yeah, man, yeah, we had Ohio State.
If they only had 7 players,
all of our seniors is gone. All the seniors is gone. Okay, and we ain't got no underclassmen. All right, so you said we're gonna go get 3 freshmen, and we need to go get. Back in the day, it was JUCOs.
Oh, yeah.
JUCOs was
now it's portal.
Now it's portal. If you got JUCO dudes, that means JUCO and freshmen, you're done.
Yeah.
You're not getting that off. And the Cleveland Browns, as a regular offensive line in the pros, need 5 starters. 5. And Ethan Poachers, by the way, even if you wanted to sign him and bring him back, he just had a knee injury late in the year.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
how are we doing this? You already said you're not going to bring back Wyatt Teller because you benched him, right?
Yeah, his ship has sailed.
Allegedly, you benched him, right? So now you and listen.
Well, Jay has said none of these guys are coming back. So you need 5 pieces right there, and you need 2 receivers. You need 7.
That's crazy.
And you need backups.
And backups. You have 7 holes on your starting offense. That's why I wouldn't draft a quarterback. We're more than 1 year away here.
I don't think you. I don't. And I guess the optimum situation is it is going. Shedeur is a 5th round pick. He goes out there. You give him some pieces and parts, and then he proves at that point in time whether or not in that year is he the guy in 26.
I think that's the smart way to do it. But I got to tell you, the more I listen to people talk, the more it scares me. I think next year's coming down to a quarterback competition between 4 and 12.
Well, we'll dive into that at some point.
I just feel like that's where we are.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you.
You think 4 is going to be a part of this?
I think next year, yes. I mean, he's an $80 million hit, so he's going to be on the roster. If he's on the roster, that means he gets to compete for a position.
So think about it like this.
Did you read the comments Friday? We missed them because they came out Friday at 11-ish. Somehow we missed them during the show.
He's on the roster.
I think it was their wide receiver coach or one of the coaches for the Browns offense. You can look these comments up.
Yeah, Chad O'Shea.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was O'Shea. I thought it was someone else. I had said wide receiver coach. It wasn't. Maybe their passing game coordinator. One of the coaches, if you look, you'll find these comments Friday around 11 o'clock. I didn't see him until the show was over, unfortunately. He's been a joy to have in practice. It's good to have him around.
He runs the scout team, yeah.
But I mean, the quote was like a 3-sentence quote. It was glowing.
Yeah,
He's a joy to have here. It's good to have him back on the field.
Can't see a new coach coming in here and entertaining that.
Yeah,
but here's the problem. Whether it's Stefanski or another coach, you've got an $80 million boat anchor on your boat.
If he's on the roster,
you can either pull it onto the boat and try to move, or you can leave it at the bottom of the sea and never move. I mean, if they're going to keep him because they got to pay him.
I get what you're saying, but I also think the owner at this point has wrote it off as
I felt like he has too, but
sunk loss.
If we come back to next year and he's on the roster and he's in camp, you can't keep him off the field. If he's in camp, he's competing for a position. What if he looks like old Deshaun Watson? Like, the Browns want to win games. Even if it's a new coach, he's going to want to win games. He knows there's a bit of a honeymoon. I just feel like it's so Cleveland Browns drama that's what we're looking at next August.
Well, I'm fully expecting it to be that
they
battle.
Give us something every year, don't they?
It told me. Here's what I thought.
I won't be watching at that point.
It told me when they said unequivocally that he was going to be back on the roster and he was not going to be. They're not going to cut him or whatever. He's going to be on the roster. He started practicing. That told me that they're not drafting a quarterback because I think what you see is you would need a backup quarterback that would be a veteran, and you would need to be positioning yourself to turn over and make it a comfortable room. You got to think about this, man. If you bring in and you get Mendoza, you think about that room. You got Shedeur Sanders. You already know what that is. You got Deshaun Watson healthy. And you still got Dylan Gabriel that you have pieces and parts with. You got 4 quarterbacks. If you thought that them storylines was crazy this year,
yeah,
Them storylines next year is over the top.
And here's what we know about Browns quarterbacks. They eventually get to play.
If you on the roster, you get to play.
You get to play.
I think the hope is if you go and pivot and put as much hope and infrastructure around Shedeur Sanders and give him an offseason to grow and develop and to take reps and do what he needs to do. Hopefully he could prove you can have an evaluation with a new coordinator, new thought process that we can say, is he the guy or not? And because he is a 5th round pick, and a lot of people don't want to hear this, because you are a 5th round pick, right? You're not using much capital. There's no capital involved. So if he does hit, it's a lottery ticket. If he doesn't, you will have the inevitable conversation about Arch Manning or whoever is in the 27th draft.
saying
whoever it might be. But to me, to even get to a point where that's even viable, you got to have guys under contract and getting guys in this draft to build a roster infrastructure that you could
That's why I'm not taking
evaluate
a quarterback. I'm just not. We're a lot more than a quarterback away from a winning team. Roll the dice. Let's look at the class next year. This is 2 years in a row where the class has been underwhelming. And I think Mendoza will be a good pro.
I think he has a chance
but I don't
to be
think
a
he
good
can flourish here, not with what we have right now.
Now, let me ask you this question. Does it matter who the new coach is? Because that has to factor into things. Like, if, say, for instance, a new coach comes in and says, well, I don't like the quarterbacks on the roster, or Deshaun Watson's on the roster, I'm not going to have that. Does it have to be a situation where a coach has to come in and say, I'm cool with this?
They usually do, G, to get the job. Because we've seen in the past with the Browns and other situations where head coaches have stood up and said, yep, I know that's your plan, but this is my plan. That usually doesn't work good.
Yeah, it didn't
work well for the head coach.
Didn't work too well.
You know, usually the head coach is told, well, you're not going to be the head coach here. Go somewhere else and win like crazy.
And I will push back on this. Like, let's be honest with you, right? People always want to talk about what they won't do. That is kind of funny. Like, Dustin works for ESPN. Listen, let the I know he like ESPN. Don't get mad at him. I didn't say it. He didn't say it. I said it. Let them Fox boys come around here and offer him that bag of money and say, listen, we got the team. You're gonna be the second tier team on Fox doing
triple your pay.
And Dustin Fox like, listen, man, let me. Hey, Dustin might have to give him. Hey, listen, man.
That's the way the world works.
Hey, listen, man.
Money talks.
He'd be dapping his. Hey, man, we had some good times, man.
We got to go. Mike's been rapping us for a minute, but before we go, I'll just throw this little grenade into the room. What if 4 comes back next year and looks like Houston 4? I'm just saying.
This cat. Why would you do this to me?
It's possible.
Sure, it's possible.
And he's on the last year of his contract, and you're looking for a quarterback of the future. What then? What do we do then? Inquiring minds want to know. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's Cleveland.
It would be the most Browns thing ever.
It would.
For Deshaun to come back.
And they would have to make the decision, do we extend it?
Yeah.
I can't even say
it.
Why are you doing this to yourself today?
Listen.
If Shedeur started the season, played 12 games, looked kind of good, got hurt, Deshaun goes in for the last 3 games and has the best 3-game stretch in the history of the franchise. And for all the money they paid for Deshaun Watson, all the draft picks they gave up, all the time he has not been the quarterback of the team, for those 3 games to ball out, look like the player they thought they were acquiring, and then put them in a decision-making situation where they have to choose to either bring Deshaun back and or not. That would be
he could go from making $80 million a year to $6 million a year.
Crazy.
If that storyline is crazy. But if Shedeur Sanders, like, say for instance, I don't know, if he's named a starter and he gets hurt, I would play Deshaun Watson over Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, you want to win games. And that's why I say a new coach might come in here and say, look, I know you all have baggage, but I'm just looking at the talent in practice. And I'm just telling you, Ford's the best quarterback.
This is crazy. I wasn't supposed to come in here talking about this. We were supposed to come in here and bury the Cleveland.
Jay took us on a nice little hard detour.
Crazy.
We'll get back to the game
way,
after a quick reminder that you can follow us on social media. Head us on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter. More UCSS content anytime, anywhere. You can find us. Those are handles on the screen. Real quick, guys, on the special teams. You mentioned earlier, but Dustin, the Browns special teams unit continues to be the worst in all of football. They had multiple special teams kerfuffles yesterday that allowed Chicago to get into good field position and/or the Browns not to get out of detrimental field position. Is there any way this can be fixed this season? Are we going to continue for the next 3 weeks to watch the worst unit in football operate when the Browns special teams unit takes the field?
I think it's at this point it's becoming a trend.
You played special teams quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no magic wand for that.
No, I mean you gotta have players that want to be a part of it.
You're right.
And it really are going to be selfless and sacrifice and do all the things that you have to do to play on special teams. You got to have a different mentality to be a special teamer, especially if you're just playing like all four phases and you're not really playing much on defense or offense. It takes guys with the right mentality, takes the right leadership, and look, I don't know that our depth right now is there. I kind of I hate to give a pass. I'm not giving a pass to Bubba Ventrone because if it keeps happening, I mean it's got to be coaching at some point.
Well, if your starters are 3-14 2 years in a row, what do you think your backups are?
Right.
And those are the guys that are playing special teams.
Honestly, like if I was to
it's a recipe for disaster.
If I was Stefanski right now, and this is the NFL, but I'd run out my starters on special teams. I'd be like, you know what, you guys can't cover. I'd be putting out some of these guys who, not like you're not Myles Garrett,
Although, could you imagine?
I'd be like running Carson Schlesinger out there and some of these other cats.
Man.
I mean, I agree with that. If the backups can't tackle on special teams, then
we see teams use starting wide receivers as their returners.
For sure. It happens.
How good do you want to be on special teams?
Now the Browns aren't a good team, so they probably will not do that.
No.
But I mean, I don't know.
There's
a lot of guys out there on the streets right now dying to be on a roster that would love the opportunity.
Even if it was just special teams.
I don't know why we're not cutting guys.
I don't either.
When I look at it, it's just all right. So here, it's just like you said, it's a mentality, man. And I asked teams. I forget who I was talking to on this show, and I asked them about. No, it was Brian. It was Hoyer. And really good interview. Go check that out. It's up on the site if y'all ain't seen it. But I asked him, what is the difference between what they did in New England, because that was the majority of his time where he was at, and the way they go about things in Cleveland. And he said, in New England, everything was the Super Bowl. Like the reps were the Super Bowl. The practice, nothing slid. Like guys, it wasn't the coaches, it was the players that held each other accountable. And a lot of times on special teams, if you got guys that ain't looking around, that think that they should be better or they should be starting or playing, think about it. Guys on special teams is looking at the starters and like, they 3-14, I'm better than him. Mm-hmm. I should be getting some touches, right? And then you not worried about what you're doing, fielding punts. Like the Browns look like they take special teams as something to get over and to fast forward just because we need to change possessions. Other teams are looking at it in a football term. It's flipping field position, understanding that my job is vital to what we're doing. I gotta field these punts. Hey, letting the punt go over your head when you should have fair caught it and getting down in the 1 yard line, that's crucial. That could change the game.
Hidden yardage, man.
That's hidden yardage. And I don't think, man, I'm not gonna say that maybe Bubba's not putting emphasis on it, but the only thing we got is the results. And it's a results-based business. Mm. And so if your special teams are bad consistently every single year, it has to go to two things. Your roster construction is not there because you don't have the guys that should be the special teams guys. You have to be drafted. Some of these people, 5th round, 6th round picks, they get drafted specifically for special teams.
It's happened, yeah.
I need a gunner. I need a punt protection guy.
On teams that are very, very good and they might have 4 or 5 openings on their roster next year anyhow.
Yeah, right, and they know that guy is going to be like a 4-phase guy for like the next 5 years.
Right.
And so like you gotta have like that one, the captain.
Yeah.
Of
like
that
Bubba
group.
Was when he played.
Sure. Or like Matthew Slater was in New England. Like an all-timer.
Steve Tasker.
You name it. I mean, there's been guys across the board that have been really good players. When I was in, I'm trying to think of like, it was undrafted, but there's this dude we undrafted in Minnesota from San Diego State. His name was Heath Farwell. Ended up playing 10 years in the league. Wow. Undrafted linebacker. Became like the special teams captain of the team. Ended up going to Seattle, won a Super Bowl with the C on his jersey, with Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Oh,
and now he's a special teams coach in the league. You know,
Yeah.
It's an effort. It's an effort game.
It totally is. But
And
you need those guys.
You do. And they set the tone sometimes for your starters.
1,000%.
How many times have you seen a big hit on the opening kickoff and the offense comes out with a little step, and a little bounce in their step?
Who's that kid? Who's the one guy that used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs? Special teams guy. He was a special teams guy, played safety. He was the guy who
Sorensen?
Yep, that's him.
Oh, yeah.
Sorensen. That dude for a year. I think he played for the Browns, didn't he?
Which one?
Nick
I don't remember
Sorensen, he played safety, blonde hair.
Nick?
Yeah, Nick Sorensen. He was the guy that hit Hollywood Higgins. Forced the fumble in the back of the end zone when the Browns were playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, and we were in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he hit him,
and the ball went out of the end zone. And it was a fumble.
It was a touchback.
Right before halftime.
Right before halftime.
Yeah.
And so little plays like that, they used to run fake punts with them. Those are the dudes you need. You see them on special teams. You got them running down on kickoff, and those teams take it seriously. They figure it out. Man, but I will say this. By the way, I got to give credit where credit is due. The young man, Schmidt, he's been.
He's been money.
I mean, what is he? What is he on the?
What did he hit yesterday? A 50-yarder in the Chicago win?
50 since that little kerfuffle at the beginning of the season.
Bengals.
Against the Bengals.
Yeah.
He's been
great.
Money bags.
Gee,
18 or 21.
You know how
PTs
when
are
you
big,
look
too.
at the schedule, and teams do this, they look and they say, like if Myles is playing against a team that's given up the most sacks in the NFL, he's licking his chops. I always relate it to in baseball. I love sitting in the dugout and watching the 3 or 4 guys hitting in front of me going to town, doing work. Oh, the pitcher's on his heels. Or especially I love it when a pitcher is struggling to find a strike zone. Because what do I know now? He's going to throw a meat fastball right down the middle. And it's time to eat. I think now the Browns have become victims of their own failures. Every team that plays the Browns on special teams, here's what they're saying. Oh, boys, we got a chance to take one to the house. We got a chance. This team gives up big yardage on special teams.
Oh, man.
And we see it week in and week out. There's always a bust on special teams.
Shout out to Coach. We had the special teams coach, Coach Sully. Hey, guys, we got opportunity. I'm telling you right now, we're going to take one back. We're going to take one back. I'm telling you, these guys are lazy in their lanes. They get out of their lanes. Number 22 right here, watch him loafing. He think the game over. He think that look, they be telling you, we're gonna take one back. We're gonna block one this week. They dial up
positive suggestion.
They dial up the guys. I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna overload this left side over here. This guy right here, look at his kick slide. His kick slide. And Dustin, know when you're in special teams, when you're the outside guy and your kick slide, we were looking for it. Or if that kick slide is not at the right angle, we gonna block this. And we rep it all week. And when you get a block, that's why you see the sidelines erupt and people go crazy and they jack the special teams coach up because he's been preaching that all week that we gonna get one. And when you get it, it happens. And and by the way, you get a kick blocked, that might as well be the game. Like
Air leaves the building. It's the sideline.
It's like a dunk. It's like dunks is worth 2 points, but if you get dunked on and there's an and one, throw the ball in the stands. It's over. You might as well. I don't care if you was up 10. You lose it. If you get a punt block or somebody take a punt to the crib, it's done. Like the defense line, they're like, yeah, it's done. It's a wrap. Chalk it up. Yeah, but we're up 17, guys. Guys, we're up 7. No. They just blocked the punt. You know what the rules are.
Yeah, no one blocks a punt.
No one blocks punts except on the Browns. And bad teams even give us the work. Jets, Titans.
Yeah.
Bad teams. We still give up. We still got special teams. It's just wild work, man.
It's inexcusable.
No, they're the 32nd ranked special teams unit according to DVOA. Not good enough for the Browns. All right, let's get to our next topic. It involves something good about the Browns. It's brought to us by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com. Place your live bets all year. FanDuel, the games move fast, and so can you. Speaking of moving fast, Myles Garrett is quickly approaching tying the NFL record for sacks. He had 1.5 yesterday, brings his season total to 21.5, meaning he's 1 sack behind T.J. Watt and Michael Strahan for tying the record. 1.5 behind nobody to set the new NFL record. Jay, he had the 1 sack yesterday, then he got half a sack because Shelby Harris was credited with the other half. Did you think that was a full sack?
I thought it was a full sack.
I did too.
I thought Harris got to him, but I thought he was going to escape. Had Myles Garrett not been there, Myles brought him to the ground on his own.
Yeah.
And I'm really surprised that they took that half sack away.
He got a half the week before that was borderline.
Yeah, so I guess it all comes out in the wash, right?
They was like, nah, we're gonna get you. And is this the official? Is that an official?
I wanted to
scorekeeper?
ask Jason that. I didn't know Jason wasn't going to be here today. I wonder if the home team provides the official statistician, or is that someone that's signed by the NFL?
I will look that in. I'll look that up.
I don't
think
know
it's
the
the-
answer
I
to
think
that.
it's the league, but-
I think it's the league too, but in baseball, the home team is is deciding if that's a pass ball or a wild pitch. Is that an error or a hit?
The official scorekeeping stuff in baseball is fascinating.
Oh, hey, there was
It's
a player. You guys
fascinating.
remember Milton Bradley?
Yep.
Milton Bradley one time stormed up to the press box during a game with his cleats on.
Jay, it comes from the NFL.
Okay.
It's not team by. It's not.
I
Baseball.
like that it does,
is,
by the way.
yes.
I think it should be from the NFL because they can make a difference.
Them
They can make a
records
difference.
is kind of sacred. Like,
Yeah, I still think he's going to get the record. I do. It's a shame that he didn't get the full sack. Then later in the game, he had the play where there was a fumble.
Right, and he touched him?
He touched him down. Now, if that ball wasn't fumbled, I think that would have counted as a sack.
It would have,
But because he was
yes.
jumping on the ball to cover the fumble,
Right.
he doesn't get the sack. But that would have been much like Michael
Strahan's.
Strahan's record-setting 22.5 over Favre. Favre saw him coming and just took a dive.
He ate it.
He just
And,
laid
yeah.
down
Do you
for him.
he's when you get to this many sacks, it's kind of crazy because it's like the McGuire and Sosa thing. When you people don't understand how hard it is to get one sack. Like just sniffing a quarterback is just very difficult. Like there's times where you would go a whole year and not get no sacks. This dude got 21 of them.
Let me just say this much too. It's very difficult to even get credit for tackles in the league. Because I'm telling you right now that if you go on my bio and you can make fun of me, all the haters out there with my 8 tackles or whatever, but I should have at
It's
least
8 more
20.
than
I should have
99% of
I should have
everybody.
25.
Listen, easy.
Easy. There were games where I'm like, shoot, man, I had like 3 solo tackles on kickoffs. I get out there, they give me a half a tackle.
Half a tackle.
One,
You're
like 0.5.
I'm like, bro, is this we grading on a curve here, bro? Like, listen, I put my whole body weight on this man, and he was on the ground when I was on the ground.
I
that
literally-
counts.
I'm the only reason the guy went down.
That's it. There was nobody else. It was me, the turf, and him.
Who were they splitting the tackle with?
I have
then?
no idea, dude. It's the
grass?
scoring system's bull crap.
You go back and look at it. At every level, it get worse and worse.
I still think he's got 3 games, and the 3 teams that he plays, one of them's got a 40-year-old quarterback, and the other 2 are going to drop back 40 times.
Man,
So I can't imagine that he doesn't break the record. He's averaging better than a sack and a half.
He'll get it.
In 14 games, he has 21 and a half sacks.
He'll get it this week, I think, because they're having a hard time protecting Josh.
They
And
are.
Josh gets a little.
Yeah. But Josh
little-
can escape.
He can, but he gets a little loosey goosey, and so I think there'll be some plays. I think he'll get it this
I
weekend.
hope so. It'd be cool to see him get it.
you know what's
sooner.
crazy?
I want to see him get it in 15 or 16 games because, it's like the asterisk. Well, he had 17 games to get it. I want to see
Well,
him
how
blow
about
the
how about he does
away.
it in 15?
I think he could.
You know, it's so fun.
He needs 2 next week.
They
1.5
playing.
really.
They playing. I forgot they. That's how bad the Browns be. I don't be knowing the schedule. Like they playing the Bills this week.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I know we trash, but I get to see Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I get to see, I want to see, now it's like, okay, let's see what these guys can. This is what, when you got a bad team,
That's what it's become.
you're like, all right, well, let's see if they could put some, fun up against a bad team or a good team. Like, I want to see. Or it's like, you could go against them and be like, man, we got smoked. Dude, we got smoked so bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just to see the difference. But at least it's a little bit intriguing because there is Josh Allen and there is some storylines. So,
Mikey, we got an early spread this week. What do we got?
It's 10.5.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh, wow. You know what? 10.5. I know it's in Cleveland.
10.5.
I mean, the Browns were like a trendy pick this weekend against the Bears.
I saw that.
And then that
didn't work out well.
Hey, I'm just
No.
saying, man. This could be a nasty one. But
And
it'll be
even if
interesting.
it's cold, like the Bills are used to cold weather too. It's not like Miami's coming up here.
Right.
So you really don't have the cold advantage. The fans haven't been coming out, so it's not like you're going to have a raucous home crowd advantage. There'll probably be as many Bills fans here. Bills fans are going to look at this as an opportunity, as a little mini road trip.
Bills
Get in the car,
Mafia.
drive 3 hours, and
For sure.
Bills Mafia will be in the building. Bills
Yeah,
Mafia,
they're gonna show up.
They travel tough.
They do.
yeah.
They'll show
travel
up.
tough.
You know, I don't know if you guys noticed this. Maybe it was just me reading into it. I thought Michael Strahan was a little salty yesterday.
Oh, it hit him.
They did the halftime highlights,
Yeah.
and they didn't even show Myles' sack.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that they would all be riding him like, oh, your record's about to go down. And the fact that they weren't, because that crew, they get on each other. It almost tells me that he's a little touchy about it.
I think maybe he told him like, hey, let's not, don't be riding my ass on this.
Yeah,
Maybe he did. Maybe
one of them
he
things
did.
where you used to you ever get a group of buddies and y'all all play with each other and hang out and then you start razzing them a little bit and they be like, hey man, listen, for real though.
Don't
Hey,
mention that.
Hey, for real, don't.
Yeah,
like,
you find their touch zones.
Then you be like, hey man, for real, don't like I'm cool with everything else, but don't.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Don't go back to the old girlfriend.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man, you making my life hard right now, bro. Like, or when you get married, you're newly married, and then you see your old buddies, and then your old buddies come up and you trying to introduce them. Your wife goes to the bathroom and she, hey, listen.
Don't bring up.
Don't bring up.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, that's a sore soft spot.
Don't
Oh,
bring
yeah.
up Jessica.
Don't bring up.
And I think Strahan has. I think he may say on the outside, hey, records are made to be broken, but I do think he likes having that record. I know he relished the fact that when Watt broke it or tied it a couple years ago,
It was tied.
He was
But it was
noticeably
17
excited
games.
that it wasn't broken.
Right.
It brings up a commercial I saw. It reminds me of Tyvis. There's a dude on there. They're talking about hair loss, and one of the guys goes, "Yeah, man, I just stopped hanging out with the fellas because I couldn't take the riding." And so he went and got the fake hair. He's got a new hairline. And I'm like,
That's crazy. Dang, you was doing a lot of riding, dog.
Couldn't take the ride anymore.
Hey, one last thing on Myles.
Tyvis is. I always see when I see the commercial, I think of Tyvis.
One last thing on Myles before we get to the next guy.
He's gonna love that.
You gonna love
Considering
that.
the fact that this
That's what he
team's
says,
3-11, they haven't been competitive in way too many games. Does it feel like this is kind of actually flying under the radar, his chase for the record, or do you feel like it's getting the appropriate amount of attention?
And they gave it a lot of time last night on Sunday Night Football. I thought, they had a segment about it, and at the end, Maria Taylor said, come on, let's keep going, Myles. Let's get this thing. I don't know what it's akin to. Like, it's not in baseball, it's the home run record.
Right.
That's the Holy Grail. I think the Holy Grail in football is like touchdown passes by a quarterback, or maybe touchdowns by a running back, or 2,000 yards by.
Yeah, 2,000.
But it's up there
yards.
though.
It's
It's up there for sure. It's
Yeah.
one of the big records in sports that most diehard fans know who holds it and what the number is.
So for me, it's always been 2,000 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, you saw.
OJ did it. I think he was the first to do it, wasn't he?
OJ, then you had Eric Dickerson.
Yep.
And then you saw Jamal Lewis, which was crazy, which he kind of gets over. CJ2K, Chris Johnson. So that's one.
It's an exclusive club.
2,000 yards as a receiver is another one that was anytime a
crazy
receiver.
work.
Anytime you get to be about 1,800. The radar
Everybody's
goes up.
watching.
Everybody,
Yeah.
The interceptions is a thing too. Like
See, I don't even know what the record is in a season. Is it
What
7?
is it like? No, it's got to be over.
it's
over.
like
9?
10 or 11.
No, because
interceptions
I
in a
remember
season?
Jarius Bird. My last year playing had like 9 or 10.
That's
Oh wow! I wouldn't.
To get-
I remember Tom Darden led the league one year and had 7.
If
That was a good year.
If you get anything,
Are we
over,
going back? How far you want to go back?
Well, what's the record?
14.
Damn.
But it was in 1952.
Really?
what's been the most recent?
Yeah, give us one like the modern era, like from the 70s to 80s, 90s.
Lester Hayes had 13 in 1980.
That's crazy.
Lester was a ball hawk.
I'm right about Jarius Bird. Do you have 10?
Trayvon Diggs in 2021 had 11.
You're jumping 11 picks.
Dustin, who are you asking about?
Jarius Bird. Hit,
Hey, the brand for the Cowboys, didn't he have like 5 pick sixes in a season?
Yeah, that.
Bird had 9, Dustin.
He had
in
9?
09.
By the way,
09.
he did a number last night on JJ.
Yeah,
He manned him 70% of the time and
Locked up.
He could not get open when 26 was on him.
5,000 yards passing used to be huge. Like I
Only
remember
a handful of guys have done that, right?
Stafford,
Brady did it once.
Breeze did it. 5,000 passing is
that's a big mark.
That's
I think the league is noticing. I think he's gonna, when he breaks it, I think he's gonna get his just due. But to your point in asking the question, Mike, it does ring hollow. If this was a year when the Browns were 12-3 and we were fighting for the number 1 seed, think of the excitement that this city would be. I mean, you got a record setter, you got a trip to the playoffs. Maybe we're going to get some home playoff games. Instead, when we're all done with this, we're going to get a good draft pick.
Does he? I mean, so if after he gets the record, that means if he stopped playing today, he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
I think he's done enough.
If he just quit today.
If he has a career, God forbid, I won't even say that.
If
he gets so frustrated with the Browns that he walks after this season and he gets the record this year, I think he's done enough.
I think he did enough if he retired before the season began.
Yeah, they made a great point. He's going to be a 2-time defensive NFL MVP. I don't know of a 2-time defensive NFL MVP that's not going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And on this point, too, I thought they made a great point during the telecast last night or yesterday. They mentioned the fact that when you think about how he's done it this year, in most cases this year, the Browns have lost by double digits. So it's not like the other team is dropping back and throwing 40 times a game.
Yeah.
He's doing this against teams that, for the most part, are riding out pretty big leads in the second half.
Jay, before yesterday's game, I had a stat, I'm pulling it up right now. He was facing an average, or he had a chance to rush the passer on average of 31.2 drop packs per game.
Okay.
So it takes out scrambles. Actual passing plays, 31. The year Strahan set the record, 35.5 dropbacks. TJ Watt, the year he tied it, 36.5. So if you extrapolate that over the entire
60 more dropbacks for Watt
per game,
65.
It's almost 2 more full games of pass rush opportunities.
That's
for
a
Watt
great
and Myles.
point, Mike. That's a great stat. That is a great stat.
I'll update it after the numbers come in for this week.
Yeah, no, that is a great stat, and I think that and I don't know what the double team numbers were for Watt and for Strahan.
He gets the most.
Anecdotally, I've never seen a player double teamed more than Myles Garrett. Maybe it's happened, but I've never seen a player that's been double teamed more. Yeah, and you always talk about his bend. I think of all of his traits, his strength, his size, and his speed, I think what separates him from everyone else is his bend. How he comes around that corner, he looks like he's Matrix.
The flexibility in his hips, his joints, his knees.
It's insane.
His ankles. It's just crazy. And just think how many teams, if Myles Garrett, how many teams that's borderline good teams that you would take Myles Garrett and say, if you added Myles Garrett to this team, they would be Super Bowl worthy. Or, you could.
A lot of those middling teams. Because I think the pass rush is the second most important spot on a football team.
I think yesterday we saw when Micah Parsons went down that that defense went from good to, probably borderline great defense.
They may miss the playoffs.
They're going to.
They play Chicago this week.
It's going to cost them a run. His injury is going to cost them.
Yeah,
big time.
I think you're right.
Another injury that's impacted
they believe his is ACL too,
That's what he said, yeah.
Yeah, they're afraid it's an ACL.
Two huge ACL tears yesterday.
G brought this up in the post-game show. I think we got to mention it here now. After we do a quick word from Aura Frames. The holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap. It's a way to share memories because Aura isn't your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it, so when they plug it in, the memories are already there. No apps to figure it out. No setup headaches. Just instant smiles. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura Frames' best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code LOCKEDON. Terms and conditions apply. So we were doing the post-game show yesterday, and G brought this up. I'm curious what you, Jay, and you, Dustin, think about this. But the Browns have been gashed in the run game each of the last 2 weeks. We know what Tony Pollard did. They had the worst run offense in football. Then they ran for 170-plus on the Browns. The Bears had a top 3 rushing attack. They ran the ball at will against the Browns, and this has happened in the 2 games since Malik Collins has been out. With Malik Collins out, that puts more pressure on Mason Graham to kind of be the stalwart, the defensive tackle #1 in the middle for the Browns. And in these 2 games, he hasn't made much of an impact. Jay and Dustin, I want to start with you because, G, I know you said this yesterday. I want you to follow up. Is it fair to expect more out of Mason Graham when he's not playing alongside Malik Collins? Or is this just the end of the season, rookies kind of worn down, longest season, and we should expect a little bit of a decline in his play because they've been running at will against him?
Yeah, we talked on Friday about hitting a wall. He's never had a season that was this long. Even when that Michigan won the national championship, back then it was just a 2-game playoff.
Yeah, 13 games.
So he is now, every game he plays from this point on is a game that he's never played in a season. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on 2 things. 1, he's a rookie. 2, it's the end of his first professional season, and he's finding out just how grueling a season can be. Not only the number of games, but when he played 13 or 14 or even 15 games at Michigan, they were like 14-1. You guys will be able to speak to this. When you're 3-12, dragging your tired butt out there on a 20-degree day to practice football is brutal. It's miserable. So it's the end of a long year. They've got nothing to play for. He's a rookie. All of that being said, he's graded on a different scale because of where he was taken.
Yep.
That's the chain you wear around your neck forever. And sometimes it can be good. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. That's in a good vein. Mason Graham, first pick of the draft for the Browns. Was he 5th overall?
5th overall.
5th overall.
The 5th
That
overall
comes
is wild.
with that billboard precedes you. That the people see the billboard before they see you. And he definitely misses Malik Collins. There's no question. We talk about the offensive line working in orchestra and how it really is. You're almost playing hand in hand. Defensive line can be the same way with stunts and with different blitzes. You're really relying on the guy next to you. And I think he was a huge beneficiary of Malik Collins' play. And I think we've missed him a lot since Malik Collins went out. So I think a lot of it is on Mason Graham. And a lot of it has something to do with the fact that he lost his wingman. He lost his guy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's easy to be critical of the entire defense and the defensive line specifically because they've been so porous against the run the last couple of weeks. I don't, without looking at the All-22 and without like grading how he performed, it's tough to say that he's really letting them down. I mean, Garrett, you're focused on the interior of the line. Is this a reasonable conversation to be having right now?
I mean, I just think with Mason Graham, so when you got a guy like Malik Collins, right, who's been in the league, that's going to drive the pocket, the way they play up front is they want to get penetration. And penetration by multiple people destroy plays. What you're starting to see is, Shelby Harris, is not Malik Collins. He's an older veteran guy. He's good as a backup. He's the reason why they went out and got Malik Collins because he was that type of disruptive force. You go watch him in practice, he's quick twitch. He's a guy that can get upfield and, obviously had 6.5 sacks. He was leading defensive tackles and sacks before his untimely injury. And I think what happens is as offensive linemen go, you start to see, Mason Graham. And you got to remember, Mason Graham lost a lot of weight from rookie mini camps to OTAs in order to be in a better shape to rush the passer because Jim Schwartz wanted him to be more disruptive. And he came back and lost, I think it was 15 pounds, and came back. But here's the thing, when you're losing them 15 pounds, it's a trade-off with that. You're going to lose a little power, right? He's more quicker, but you're going to lose some power. And when teams are double teaming you and you ain't got those 15 pounds to kind of hunker, and you don't got your other dude next to you that's disruptive, that can really mess up some of the blocking schemes, he's just the point of attack. But to be fair, this year as a rookie, as a defensive tackle, it's completely difficult to go through a year and kind of understand what the game is. Like you understanding the different schemes, you getting blocked a different way. There's grown men up there in the league. Like everybody is grown, everybody's strong. And so when you up there taking them double teams and then you got running backs that ain't going down easy, you don't see Derrick Henry's a lot, right? You seeing guys like that. And so for me, what is going to be important for him, and I think what you'll see, and Mason, you're going to take this. Mason Graham is probably already talking to his trainer, his staff, and people, and what they're going to do, his goal is going to be to remake his body.
Yeah.
His goal is going to be able to add 10 pounds of muscle. Right now you can kind of see he looks like he's still got some, and he's strong as heck, but he look like he's still got some maturing to do with his body.
Yeah.
Get a little more solid, right? You know, his pants, he ain't filled out his pants yet. He ain't filled out the jersey yet. Get him together, work with Myles Garrett. You know, this is where the offseason comes, and he has one of the best examples right next to him. Mason Graham, I know Myles might be one to go off. He might hang out with his supermodel ski girlfriend. You know, he been doing a bunch of shout out to Myles Garrett. He out there winning. I know he won, but you get with Myles. You tell Myles, listen, when you come back, we need to link up. We need to do nutrition, pass rush. Give me 20. I need about 10, 15 pounds. Waking up at 6 o'clock in the hyperbaric chamber, whatever he's doing. And I think next year he'll come back and you'll say, well, Mason Graham, you'll hear them little stories before the combine. Mason Graham, 10 pounds of muscle. They said he went from 13% body fat to 8%.
Really changed his body.
Changed his body.
I hope so.
Off-season.
Off season.
I hope
and
so.
then that'll end up that'll get rid of a lot of this stuff, because then now he's able to keep that same level of quickness, and he's gonna have that weight to hunker down and play the run a little more.
All right. I hope you're right. I think there's no better example than Myles Garrett. What he's having. How much you working out?
I'm gonna leave with Myles. And listen, I know and Myles got the super bag. Now Mason, I know you don't spend no money on nothing. You got the 5th round bag. The number 5th pick bag is crazy. And it look like all you do is wear gray T-shirts and go to WWE matchups. You're not spending no money. So Myles going to be in different countries. So you got to get the plane tickets and get ready. But still, that's what you need to do.
He's not hurting for nickels.
No, he got it.
I mean, he's got the bag.
He got the super bag.
Sure.
And he ain't going broke neither. Yeah. And by the way, can we get to this? You saw what Odell Beckham Jr., right?
The comments he made?
Yeah.
What, on Manningcast?
Odell said something that was interesting.
About 100 million.
About how 100 million go quick.
Oh, yeah, I did. I read those. Yeah.
The 100 million go quick. Now listen, guys. Look, man. I know I get it. 100 million sound like it's, but listen, that's still 100 million, my G.
It's not.
But it's not.
Nope.
It's not. A lot of people don't.
Tale as old as time. Cut it in half. Now you've paid Uncle Sam and your agent.
Boom.
Now you got 50. Now still, Joe Sixpack, who's working for $7, $8 an hour, doesn't want to hear that. But people only remember the gross number. Man. They don't see whose hand is in that.
Listen, man.
And how much of it comes out.
I'll tell you. Look, I'm gonna let y'all know something. I'm gonna just keep it real. Money relative, right? Money is super relative. And it's crazy. Like, even a situation with Baker. Baker, like, dang, bro. Like, he thought he was good. Then he had a little 13 million come up missing from here. You know it. How many people? I'm just hanging on you. See, I ain't playing the league, Dustin. I ain't playing the league at Ohio State. How many people for how many years thought you had it? You still got it. Let's still got it. Right? How many people, like, you see what I'm saying? If they see you enough on Jay, I don't want to talk about you. Listen, you've been on TV for 75 years. You know how many people that wanted car washes? How many people want to start businesses? How many co-signed businesses that you done had? The J. Crawford Inc. You done had bakeries, coffee shops. You done had everything. But listen, I'm telling you, people, it can go quick. It go quick like that, bro.
People don't understand.
Mm-hmm. It go quick.
People don't understand. And the other thing is, too, the amount of people that lean on Odell because you got, man, listen, I need 20K today.
Like 15.
And those guys think that it's an endless supply, too. You know this. I think the league was doing it when you were in the league. They do the NFL Rookie Symposium.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Chris Carter had a conversation with me once where he said, Jay, it's a fact. 4 out of 5 of these guys, 5 years out of the game, are going to be one of the following: broke, addicted, divorced, or incarcerated.
Yep.
And I said, Chris, that's nonsense. It's not. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen guys that made healthy 10 figures. I'm sorry. 8 figures, which is in the tens of millions.
Yeah.
Ask me for money.
Yes.
And I'm like, how can that be? And when you hear their stories, you find out, well, I was paying 4 mortgages one year.
You got
1 year I flew my whole family private to every game I played.
Dustin
You've heard the story too. You've seen them firsthand.
He done put the hat back on.
It's hard to hear,
when they hit
man.
you with this.
It's hard to hear. And what the symposium does is it basically tells you where the pitfalls are.
Yes.
Don't go buy a $350,000 car on your rookie contract. Don't buy $40,000 worth of jewelry with your rookie contract. There's no crime in living in a house that doesn't look like it should be on MTV Cribs. And your mom doesn't need a new 8,000 square foot home. Maybe she could get by with a 2,000 square foot home. And the players all sit there and hear it, and they leave, and it's really hard to not look at what the big number is. Talk about contracts. This is an interesting story, guys. Do you know that Jackson Smith-Njigba's probably top 2 or 3 wide receivers in the NFL this year, right? Definitely the best rookie.
Definitely.
Do you know Jeremiah Smith made more money this year than Jackson Smith-Njigba did?
Yeah.
Think about that.
And I wonder how they handle that money. Can you imagine?
18 years old, there's $4 million.
Bro, listen.
But you got to understand these
guys are different.
These kids are different cats.
They different. They didn't came up with it.
These guys. I talked to Caleb Downs on the Buckeye Cruise for we sat next to each other for
he's a good kid,
2 hours doing autograph sessions.
I heard he's a good kid.
So I'm just picking his brain, whatever. I mean, this kid's 10 times smarter than I am now.
Mature?
Currently.
Mature.
How did
He's
that
more
happen?
mature than I am right now.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Hey,
I mean, probably a variety of things. I think that they have their recruiting.
They have resources.
Well, the Ohio State recruits good kids now.
They do.
Well, and they also have a really good support system there. I mean, I don't know. These guys have the support in terms of quote unquote agents and stuff.
Because most of these machines, and by machines I mean leagues and teams, you know what they do? They chew these kids up and they spit them out to the wolves. And I applaud the NFL for the symposium because I think it's a great idea. It's not working the way it should work.
Yeah.
And they do post-career vocational classes as well. I know I used to teach NFL television.
There's support there if you want to get it.
If you want it, it's there.
I've used a lot of resources that they
good. I'm glad to
provide.
Hear that. I'm glad to hear
Dustin don't know McNuggets. You marry a good woman, you be all right. If you marry a good woman,
it helps, man.
I got it. My wife is an accountant, and we be having tough decisions. I said I want another watch. She's like, you don't get no another watch. You wear the one you have. You do too much money spending.
Yeah.
Go sit down.
Hey, it helps.
There you go, G. However
Keeps
you
you in
got
line, brother.
Get it done.
Live within your means.
Got
All right, guys, we got to talk a little Cavs to wrap up today's show. If you want more Browns talk, the instant reaction, you can hear myself, Earl, and G. Bush on the postgame show. It's on our YouTube channel. Went for about an hour yesterday breaking down what we saw in the Browns' loss to the Bears. Check it out on our YouTube page. 2-minute warning show. All right, guys, the Cavs stink. They lost to the Hornets last night. They became the first team in about a decade to go scoreless in an overtime period.
Didn't score a single point.
After the game, Donovan was asked if he heard the boos from the crowd, which came out during that overtime period. This is what Donovan had to say about that, and I quote, "I was a fan once. I would boo us too. We're not playing well. The city deserves better than what we have been giving. As long as we continue to stay in this locker room, we'll be all right." The loss to Charlotte comes on the heels of the Cavs losing Evan Mobley for 2 to 4 weeks with a calf strain. So, although they won on Friday.
And barely beating the Wizards.
Yep.
They won on
Throw that
Friday.
on there.
Barely beating the Wizards.
Lucked into it.
So it was not a stellar weekend for the Cavs. Guys, if you were to, I don't want to say rank the 3 things in terms of severity, but coming into Friday's game, coming off that film session we talked about, Jay.
I thought that was going to make a
and
difference.
then laid
Mike.
an absolute egg to the fourth quarter. Needed a superhero Donovan Mitchell performance.
Yes, they did.
To carry them out of the depths in Washington. Then they lose to the Hornets, and they lose Evan Mobley. I'm not sure it could have been a much worse weekend for the Cleveland basketball team, I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I'll echo that. It couldn't have. I mean, they could have gone 0-2 and lost Mobley. But, man, I watched the overtime. I watched the last couple of minutes of regulation. And I honestly felt like, even when it was 15 points or whatever it was, I thought they're going to come back.
So did I.
And I was two-screening it. I was watching that on the phone while I was watching a football game. And I watched the comeback, and I saw them bring it even and even take a lead. But they give up a bad 3 with 4.5 seconds to go. They get a good shot from Donovan Mitchell. I'm surprised he didn't penetrate and get right to the rim. He can do that when he wants, almost at will.
Almost
Yeah,
every
it was a decent shot at the
It was
buzzer,
a decent shot, but it was still like a 15-footer or whatever. I thought he settled.
He's got to.
I wanted to see him be Michael Jordan in that spot. I'm taking the ball to the rack, and you're not going to stop me, or you're going to foul me, and I'm going to hit free throws, and we're going to win the game. I was just super disappointed in their effort. And it was funny because they got some pretty good efforts from role players.
That's the
I thought
part.
Lonzo Ball, like when you, I think someone said Friday, I think Jason did, it's not because of the stars. The stars aren't carrying us. The role players are doing what they should do. The stars are not.
We were sitting there talking about that. It's not the role guys. It's not the dudes coming off.
They're getting some nice performances.
Jalen Tyson to me has been
double.
Jalen Tyson, I mean, the fact that they ran across this dude, he plays the game the right way. He plays hard. Yeah. He's tough-nosed. He remind me of a taller Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying? I like what he brings, and I like that he got that leadership quality to say, listen, man, we got to have our top flight starters and the first line dudes playing this tough. But the problem is this, man. It just seems I'm scared to say it, and I'll get your thoughts on the McNuggets. When basketball stuff start happening like this, you start to hear things of they just need a shake up. They need a shake up somewhere in the roster. Somewhere they need to tweak.
I think they do.
They need to tweak something because it's ran its course. We know how these pieces fit together, and to me, I think it's more evident than ever that their core identity of what they have with Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen is not working because you're now paying Evan Mobley like a max guy. Darius Garland is paid like a max guy, and with the restrictions, and I'm saying it's restrictions with Garland is restrictions with his size and his health.
Yep.
I don't think that you can count on him with being a guard that's a quick twitch back and forth guy. I don't think you can count on him in that toe. I just don't.
I'm getting concerned about that too. Mike, what was he, 0 for 11 Friday night from 3-point
he played well
range?
last night, though. He actually.
No, I know, but Donovan was awful last night from distance.
I know, and this is a stat. This is Steve, go up one. Donovan, good Don versus bad Don. When Don scores 35 points this year, they're 8-1.
Okay.
He scores less than 21, they're 0-5. They have needed Donovan Mitchell to be a superhero to win games this season. The beauty of the Cavs last year was they didn't need Don to be a superhero. Everyone else was contributing. They were getting contributions up and down the roster. This year, when Don hasn't played well, they have not won basketball games. And it is not fair to ask any player in the NBA, especially a player on the most expensive roster in basketball, to need to be superhuman every game to beat subpar teams.
Especially when he's got two other max players on the roster.
Exactly.
How in the world does it come down to he's got to be great or they don't win?
I'm scared.
The other guys haven't. They're not doing enough.
This is not the Cavs when LeBron was here, the first time.
Yeah.
When he was dragging guys
Right.
to the finals.
Come on, Booby.
I mean,
follow me to the
This
finals.
is a team. Donovan's a great player, but there's supposed to be other dudes here carrying their weight.
The guys, like even when you start, take a look at this. DeAndre Hunter, right? We got to have a conversation, DeAndre. You're not out here to score and be cute. Your job is
not playing on the Hawks anymore, buddy.
Bro, your job is to come out here and play defense, rebound, and get the other things. I don't know what that is. What you're shooting 30 from 3.
He broke someone's ankle earlier this year,
and then it was
now he thinks
still
he's
living off it.
And one mixtape game. And the scary part to me is the worst thing that you can ever hear in the NBA is this: calf strain.
No, you're right.
No. Listen, that is an injury that does not heal. That is, strain is a layman's term for a slight tear. And the way that the Achilles heals is an epidemic. Go look at Halliburton, calf strain. Go look at the rest of these guys who eventually
Durant, calf strain.
All these calf strains, and they sit them out for these long weeks and months, and they come back and seem to be fine. And I'm not wishing injury on nobody, but when you got a long, lanky athlete, 7 foot guys, and now you're asking Evan Mobley to be more athletic. You want them shooting more. You want them guarding more. You want them handling them more. You know what that all involves? Change of direction, high torque on that calf. And when I heard that, I said, oh, goodness. We have to figure something out because I don't think now you put it in a situation where you got a toe from Darius Garland that any given
those
plant
linger.
those linger. And now you got the calf strain from Evan Mobley. And now you got Donovan Mitchell, and we know how Donovan Mitchell is. He built different, but he breaks down when he has to carry teams like that, and he's shown that over his career. So I don't know what Kenny does because ain't no help coming. Ain't no
This roster is.
And they cashed
I don't know
out.
what they, Mike, can they do? And I don't see what they could do.
So right now, as it stands today at it's 12:44 on December 15th. They're $22 million into the second apron.
Oh my God.
They're the most expensive roster in basketball. There are ways to make trades as a second apron team, but you are restricted heavily by those second apron constraints. Right now, the Cavs' probably best path to shaking things up is to try and shed $22 million to get into just the first apron. So then you have a little more flexibility to make a bigger level move. But there's not a salary that you can just dump. Like even Jared Allen, for example, right? I'll just use use it as an example. He's making $20 million this year. So if you were to trade Jared Allen for a second-round pick, right? Let's just say a team would be willing to give you a second-round pick for Jared Allen, and they had $20 million in cap space to absorb.
3 rebounds.
He had 3 rebounds, Mike.
He was on minutes restriction last night. Don't look at that as he came back on a minutes restriction.
Yeah,
but I'm just using him as an example.
It looks like every other game, guys.
Just using him as an example. Even if they were to literally give Jared Allen to another team for a second-round pick and take Jared Allen's contract off the books, there's still $2 million in the second apron. You're not out. Then you got to trade someone else without taking on enough money to keep your – it's very complicated. Is it possible? Yes. It is very complicated, and just saying trade X and Y, there's a lot more factors that kind of have to go into it than it seems. I think the
Kobe's gonna earn his
best
paycheck here, man, because I think he has to do something drastic. And in the past, he's done it, and he's earned our trust. I think to this point by making some pretty good moves.
Well, he pulled off DeAndre Hunter last year. I didn't.
But this
see
is
how he
not,
could do that.
guys. This is not working, and they have to do something. They need to do something jarring.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because you look at and he has to. You got to think of it like this. There's no way that you can have the Boston Celtics who don't have Tatum and Pacers don't have Halliburton
right now, right?
And they're coming in here and they're beating you. They're like you're letting Pritchard hit you for 40.
You know what hurts me the worst?
They're the 3 seed in the East.
What hurts me the worst is we run JB out of here because he wasn't any good, and he's got Detroit sitting firmly in the 1.
Yep.
Yeah, they got.
You know the difference, Jay, real quick is
what?
So not difference, but JB, the one thing he did, and he had his shortcomings as well, but you played hard as hell every time JB was on the court. Every time JB put a team on the court, they played hard.
Yeah.
Now, part of that was the Cavs were a younger team.
Right.
They were a hungrier, less proven team. A lot of those guys were still earlier in their careers.
And JB does well with those
and that's the kind of team that JB has thrived with.
That's why he's thriving in Detroit.
Last year, Kenny came in, and effort was never an issue for the Cavs last year.
No.
It wasn't. This year, I do think it has been.
Man.
They don't resemble last year's team to me if I squint hard.
No, and I
think
they
don't resemble that team.
And I wonder, I don't have an answer. And we've asked, and we've gotten the same kind of lip service anytime you ask. I wonder if after they heard all summer that the regular season is irrelevant and this team's only going to be judged based on what they do in the playoffs in April, May, and June, if they just came into this season with the regular season doesn't matter approach, which is not the right approach to have. I'm going to emphasize that is not the right approach.
Where are they right now? The 8?
They are currently tied with Atlanta as the 8th seed in the East.
So they're a play-in team right now.
Let me tell you.
And they were the betting favorite to win the East.
They're also one game out of being the 3 seed. So
let me tell you this.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
So here's how this worked. Hey, I'm going to tell you about how money worked. Donovan been rich. You know what I'm saying? He on his second. But Darius Garland got a max. Evan Mobley got a max. Jared Allen is getting paid like a star.
$20 million.
So when you getting them bags, when they give you that bag and that bag, now listen, Odell can go broke, but these NBA, them NBA,
different deal, dude.
Them NBA dudes, when you get
there's no story. There's not a lot of stories about NBA guys going broke.
When you get the max, it's a reason why once you get that max, they throw you a birthday party. Because you a new man. That's your birth, the day that you became a rich Jew forever. 300 million, even if they take the half of it, you still got 150. And we didn't even talk about the shoe deals.
There's guys that played in the league for like 10 years that average like 4.5 minutes a game, and they're living in like $10 million mansions in Atlanta.
And we'll never run out of money.
And they'll never run out of money.
And then those are the ones with the beautiful baby moms. I'm like, dang, that's your baby mom too? Yeah, and all of them drive cars. They be like, yeah, you can tell the difference between baby moms. By the way, the baseball baby moms.
Oh, it's different. Dude, here's the problem with football players, just real fast.
Yeah, real quick.
We football players, want to be those guys.
Yeah,
we are wannabes.
We were like, yo, we want to hoop. They don't got helmets on. The Holy Grail, I'm telling you, bro. That's why you don't hear from them, none of them babies. You don't hear nothing from baseball dudes. That's why we were so upset when Claus and them got caught for the game. Bro, you a baseball dude. You're supposed to be the highest level. You got the best baby moms. They don't even be saying that. Y'all rich. So look, when they start giving Mobley that bag, it's a different type of way you think.
Forever money.
Dude,
it can make you soft, too.
You know, NFL players, we're like day 26, the band.
Shut up.
Donnie at day 26.
And we all want to be Justin Bieber. Justin Timberlake.
Listen.
You know, who's some of these guys, like The Weeknd? We want to be The Weeknd, but we're day 26.
Day 26. You got to be at the House of Blues in Tennessee. You got to be at the little backdoor joints where it's a small venue, intimate. Like there's a comedy act that go on before you. Then you get on and you see your set.
The funny, talking about lifestyle differences between the NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball, the NFL guys, I heard a lot of NFL guys speak about the other two leagues with great envy because they talk about, we get 8 road trips a year and they're one night. There ain't no chance for us to go get into some trouble.
Zero.
With baseball, you got 81 hotel nights a year.
81.
In basketball, you've got 41 hotel nights a year. In the NFL, you get 8, and you check in on a Saturday, and you check out Sunday when you leave, and that's it.
You're in the hotel for like 15 hours.
And these baseball players go to 15, 18 cities a year.
And be there for a whole road trip. Be there for 5, 6 days. Yep. And shout out to the infrastructure. I like the baseball infrastructure. The bro code over there has to be elite. We don't hear no leaks. The infrastructure is
because you know
tight.
they're getting into it.
Bro,
you know they are.
You won't hear nothing. You know what? You could be a baseball player and be walking down the street and nobody wouldn't know it.
These teams got fixers, man.
Yeah.
They take care of stuff.
This is crazy. Shout out to them, man. Shout out the way the Yankees handle themselves. Can you imagine?
Derek Jeter's stories are legendary.
Listen, he might have had presidential detail. The way he
had limousines with parting gifts waiting for his girls in the morning,
and nobody had one bad word to say about him.
No.
They said, "Oh, listen." Mariah Carey said Derek Jeter was just.
I think before they even got into the limo or into the apartment, there was an NDA signed.
Probably.
That's the thing.
We got to figure it out, Derek.
We got some super chats. Let's get to them. Ray Castellanos says, UCSS, you can say Shedeur played a bad game. However, you cannot take away for the fact that for the second straight week, Shedeur was 95% of the offense. Hakeem Labunga says, I think if Mendoza gets in there, it would look 10 times worse.
10 times worse?
That's
30 interceptions. Can you imagine that?
That was a tongue-in-cheek comment. I like that. It was kind of spicy.
Soup Loop says Shedeur's performance yesterday was a lot like G. Bush's outfit today. Not his best work. # looks like a jar of peanut butter.
Wow.
I actually think you look fire today, bro.
Hey, did you guys see
the
quarterback from Vandy tweeted? The runner-up to the Heisman?
Oh, Diego Pavia?
Yeah.
F
Diego.
the voters.
Yeah, F the voters. F all the Heisman voters.
Yeah, that's fine.
Davey Davis says if Josh Allen doesn't score 35 points a game, seems like the Bills lose. I can still be a little excited about next week for Shedeur. Emmanuel Johnson said Shedeur had a bad game, but he fought his tail off and still took shots. The game shows that quarterback is by far the least of the Browns' problems. Yeah. Neil Gray says we can't have our quarterback running for more yards than our running back. We haven't established a run game all season to open up play calling.
It goes back to the offensive line. They can't pass block. They can't run block.
I couldn't believe it. Before the end of the drive, at the time, if you take his rushes out, Quinshon Judkins ran the ball 10 times for 19 yards. And that was all the rushing
He
yards
finished
we had.
12 for 21.
My God.
Terrible. Miss Bell says, Jay gave his fairest Shedeur critique yet. Shedeur has 4 games with 4 reps. Has more work to do. Must have help. Stefanski and Jerry Jeudy need to literally be run out of town.
Hold on. We got to commemorate this.
I know. Jay's a big
Miss
moment
Bell
for me. Miss Bell complimented
and
Jay.
Jay Crawford are now
Best friends.
besties.
No, let's not go that far. Listen, I gave Shedeur a B+ last week.
Hey, you did, actually.
And I couldn't give him an A because it was in a loss.
All right, next one.
You know, so I think, you can say whatever you want. I think I've been more than fair to the young man.
Jeffrey Anderson says, unless Shedeur shows a lot more progress this season, we have to draft a quarterback. It might be forever before we get such a high pick again.
So we can watch him get slaughtered and roasted every Sunday with no blocking?
Emmanuel Johnson says, you see on one of the big plays to Bond, he motioned to the right and Shedeur yelled to run a post route, as he mentioned, ended up with a big play.
I
saw that.
actually
I
did
like
see
that.
that. I said, hold on.
Field general.
They let you do that?
Dak Prescott-esque.
Listen, Dak, he is an air traffic controller. I don't even think they got a. Dak just get to
He
do
did
whatever
that a couple
he wants.
times last week, too. He's telling tight ends, just run a drag, get open, run, keep moving.
Can you imagine Bernie Kosar calling his own plays? That to me,
Wow.
that marvels at the fact that you called run, pass, protection, and in the middle of the game, you were judging how much the scheme of the game. That to me, it blows
wild
my
work,
mind.
dude.
It's
Tells you how smart
back in the
these guys
day,
are,
70s, quarterbacks called their own plays.
back
TV
then.
Roddy says if they draft a quarterback, it'll be the same result. Marjan says, you guys want Callahan back? Want Schwartz to stay? What about AVP? Get real. None of them will be back if Stefanski is gone. Thank Haslam for all this chaos. Stop supporting the Browns. Stop going to games.
Do you think?
Hey, that's
What are the chances?
they have too. They stopped going to games.
Do you think Jim Schwartz will get let go if Stefanski's gone?
Listen, I think there's a higher probability that he's the head coach next year than that he won't be here.
Why wasn't this a topic? This is crazy.
Well, I said last week. I mentioned maybe it was on Channel 3. I can't remember.
We talked about it. We talked
said
about
it
it last
before.
We
week.
talked about it last week.
Yeah,
I'm
we
like,
did.
look, he's got head coaching experience. We've seen him as a head coach. It's by far the best side of the football, special teams, offense, defense.
And then they just get a coordinator.
Get a coordinator. Get an offensive-minded head coach.
Shoot, I just.
Or a play caller, offensive, like a guru. Kevin Stefanski. If they just let Schwartz be the head coach and Kevin Stefanski be the offensive coordinator, I think you've got something here.
I'm so sick of the Stefanski offense. I refuse to get into that.
Just switch them out. I wouldn't be mad at it because here's the thing. If you want Mason Graham to progress, if you want Myles Garrett to still, I see what Schwartz can do with these guys. If Carson Schwarzenegger is a monster, I don't want to come back in and be like, ooh, Carson Schwarzenegger is getting used to a new defense. Mason Graham took a step back. Myles Garrett, he doesn't like it. And then now we got to talk about the defense.
You know, we touched on it last week. I think it was Zach that brought it up, but I thought about it when I saw it. I'm disappointed I didn't talk about it the next day. But the conversation between Schwartz and Shanahan after the 49ers game, when he was holding his play sheet up over his head or doing
that was an NBA thing.
Like, when you do this, you're not saying something that's good.
Who started doing that?
It was pitchers. during
Baseball.
Baseball
They hold their glove up. They hold their glove up over their head, over their mouth when they're talking to their catcher.
It's basically, when HDTV became a thing and you could start actually seeing and lip reading in any of those circumstances, that's when it kind of became.
Yeah, with the
thing.
clarity of the picture.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I remember thinking to myself at the time,
what they talking about over there?
I don't know what they're talking about, but it's not how good Cleveland is and how much he loves being here. So
Well, it was the first time, I think Schwartz was like 8-0 against Shanahan before that.
he's had his number.
It was
We
some
talked about
crazy
that.
success he's had.
So,
against
I mean, Salah's back in. Isn't he back there in San Francisco now?
Yeah.
Robert
Yeah.
Saleh. So I don't think he's going to have an opening there.
unless Saleh gets a head coaching
Unless
job.
Saleh gets another head coaching job, which I don't think it hasn't been long enough yet. We still remember what happened, but I think there are three distinct possibilities. He leaves Cleveland on his own. He comes back as the DC, or he comes back as the head coach. And I wouldn't rule out him coming back as the head coach.
All right, a couple more super chats real quick. Independent Thinker says, noise around Shedeur's play is why no quarterback can thrive in Cleveland. He was bad, but he was also the leading rusher, which is nasty. Entire offense needs help. All the rookie quarterbacks need to do is flash, but he must turn water to wine.
Water?
A-Class says, Shedeur versus 500 teams, has played 10 quarters, 11 total points, thrown 4 picks. The accomplishment, check your email me. The accomplishment wants to know how you get a sponsorship. Email me. Brad Schrack says, bottom line, in 2 of Shedeur's starts, we've only scored once, 1 game, 3 another. When it was DG, we were killing him and decided we had to move on. It looks different, but the results are the same.
Wait, what was that?
He said the results are the same, even if it looks different.
No, about the scoring. Did we score 29 against Tennessee? Or what was
He said against 500-plus teams.
Oh, I didn't hear that
2
part.
better teams.
Okay, well,
and then last one, Sheed says, how many more wins would even a Ben Johnson get with this roster?
That's why it's difficult, because
not many.
You if you decide to play calling and construction isn't good enough, then you can also say that the offensive line or the receivers aren't good enough, and it's just a bunch of they're a bad team, man. They're just bad.
Dad, that's where I started this morning. Like, how you supposed to
overtime.
judge these quarterbacks?